He doesn't know the meaning of it. So he went to the teacher of the teachers, Ashanqiti, and he asked him, "What is the conclusion you reached about this hadith about the seven ahruf?" And he says, "The conclusion that I've reached is that I do not know what it means." So he's like, my conclusion is I don't have a conclusion. I don't know what it means. I have no idea. Muslims have no idea what it means that the Quran is revealed in seven ahruf. No idea.
Yeah, I mean, Muhammad just said it to them and just moved on, and up to now they don't know what it is. So it seems to be little point that he told them this word or this term and then just left them in the dark, especially if it's about the word of Allah, the Quran. So that's a big problem,
Huge problem.
because you need to know what that is to be able to study the Quran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's another quote here from Islam Q&A, a popular Muslim website. They say that there's nearly 40 different opinions concerning this matter. So Muslims have no idea what ahruf means. They have absolutely no clue what ahruf means. All they know is the Quran was revealed in 7 of those, whatever those are. Okay. So now we're going to put ahruf to the side for a second, and we're going to look at another important word. So one of the important words is ahruf, because the Quran was revealed in 7 ahruf. And now the other word is qira'at, which means the readings. All right. So we're going to go now to the 10th century. And the 10th century, there's this guy called Ibn Mujahid. Ibn Mujahid, he imposed certain readings on the Muslim community because he had connections with the government, with people in power, with people in charge. And there's a famous case between him and a guy called Ibn Shanabuth. And Ibn Shanabuth said that he had the Quran of Ibn Mas'ud. He had the Quran of Ubay. But because those went against what Ibn Mujahid said was the valid or canonical Quran, he had him they took him to court. He was flogged. He was forced to recant of his position, repent, and he made a promise that he would adhere to the readings, the codices that Ibn Mujahid set out. So this guy really forced these readings onto the Muslim community.
Yeah.
Just note that 10th century is AD, so this is 300 years, around 300 to 400 years after Muhammad.
Yes.
And Ibn Mas'ud and Ubay, for people who don't know, are contemporaries of Muhammad, people that he said to get the Quran from. So Ibn Shanabuth said, I have it from them. And he was still persecuted by Ibn Mujahid because of political power and influence. Correct?
Correct. Okay.
Wow.
Now he ended up picking 7 readings. 7 readings. Nobody knows why he picked 7. Like, you can seriously go to any. I'm not being like biased when I say that. I'm not just saying that because like I'm a Christian who tries to evangelize to Muslims. So I'm not just saying. I don't have a bias when I say that. You can literally go to any Muslim scholarship. They have no idea why he chose 7 readings. Well, in his time, his contemporary, Mekki al-Qaisi said that there were more than 70 that were of higher rank and more virtuous than the 7 that he chose. Some people had mentioned in their books that there were more than 70 readers, 70 different versions of the Quran. So think about this. Like you here you are like 300 years into this religion, and there's more than 70 versions of it going around. More than 70.
Hold on.
Yeah.
This is such logic. Maybe the definition of ahruf is in the Injil.
Oh.
That's too
It may
good.
well be, actually.
Oh my
That's hilarious.
Too
The word
good.
of Satan, maybe, somewhere in there. It
Oh.
talks about it somewhere.
Oh man. All right, sorry about that. I just had to read that one out.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So there were more than 70 readings going around, so he chose 7. And these are the 7 that he chose here. Okay? All right, so these are the 7, and each of these 7 have multiple students. So you get the Quran from their students. So why did he choose those 7? Nobody knows why he chose those 7, but those are the 7 that Muslims today consider to be canonical. And so what does it mean to be canonical?
Wait, before you do that, go back to that list. So people will get confused with Ibn Kathir there.
Yes.
Yeah, can you explain that, if he's the same person or not?
Right. Yeah. So this is a different. So in Islam, there's like people. A lot of people have like the same names. Like even Ibn Mujahid, his name is actually Abu Bakr. But it's not the companion Abu Bakr. So a lot of people share like the same names. So yes, Ibn Kathir, al-Qari, the reader, he lived like 120 years in the Muslim calendar, or in the 8th century, whereas Ibn Kathir, the commentator, was living
maybe 10th century. I'm just checking to
okay.
be sure.
Yeah. So we'll just double check.
Yeah.
14th century, basically.
Yeah, 14th century, which is 10th century Muslim
calendar.
Muslim time, which starts.
Muslim time.
Muslim time
By
comes
the-
from when Muhammad started.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, by the way, I actually know why they chose 7 canonical readings.
Why?
Oh, you solved the mystery?
Yeah, so the reason why is because Muhammad said if you eat 7 ajwa dates, then no magic or poison will affect you. So I think they just wanted to go in that same vein. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems logical, right? So
It makes sense. A lot
it
of
makes
sense.
sense. Yeah.
777.
Yeah, that's also probably in the Injil as well.
Yeah.
It probably explains it. So Ibn Kathir, the reader, different than Ibn Kathir, the commentator. But yeah, a lot of Muslims don't know any of these readers. All these names that we have on the screen right here, you guys who are watching this right now, if you just learn these names, I guarantee you 99% of the Muslims won't know what these names are. Now, we're going to get to someone called Hafs that some Muslims will know who that is, but most Muslims don't know where did Hafs get his reading from. Okay, and he got it from this reader here, the first one on the screen, from Kufa. Awesome. He lived in the 8th century. Okay.
Yeah, so I just checked it. So Ibn Kathir, the commentator, he lived 700 years after Muhammad. And Ibn Kathir, the one on this list, he died 120 years after Muhammad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's these are the readers that he chose, the 7 readers that he chose, and like I said, each of these have different students. Now, remember how I said earlier that the Quran only exists through the ahruf?
Yep.
It's also true to say that the Quran only exists through the qira'at, through the readings. Now, what do I mean by that? So if we take a Quranic manuscript here, which, by the way, any Arab Muslims who come to the stream, if I show them this first text here on the top, they'll never be able to read what this says. This is something that's completely unintelligible to anyone who is only trained in like today's Arabic. You need to have like special training to read that script above. I mean, we can make out some letters. There are some letters and some words here and there, but they won't be able to tell us what that says on the top text. So to make it intelligible, on the bottom here, this is what's called the Uthmanic text. You might hear it called the Rasam. You might hear it called the skeletal consonantal text. And so this bottom text here, like, so you have the screenshot on the top and then the bottom text on the very bottom of the screen. Let me see. My mouse isn't actually showing up, but anyway, that text right there can also be confusing to read. You can actually vocalize it in different ways. So what is a canonical reading? Well, let me just fill in this text and we're going to show you how you can read this text right here. So this is Quran chapter 2, verse 2, or chapter 2, verse 1 in some Qurans, because they number them differently.
Yeah. So
this is
one
way you can read it.
Yeah, ذلك الكباب لا زيت فيه. This kebab has no oil in it.
This kebab has no oil in it. You can actually read the Quran like this.
Whereas if you put the dots a different way, it says ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه. That book has no doubt in it.
Okay, so this is the canonical. So
wow, are you serious?
Yeah. So you can anyone could just pull up this manuscript here, and you can just take that text, that base text, the consonantal text on its own. You have to add in these dots. So if you're looking at this text here, so Arabic is read from right to left. So if you look at the first Arabic text here underneath the Uthmanic text, you're going to see right below it on the very right hand side, reading from right to left. You see that there's a little dot above the first letter from the first to second one. You see that, Avery? How there's a little dot above there?
Yeah.
And then on the second word, you have like 2 dots below.
Yeah.
They add 2 dots below. Okay. Third word stays the same. Fourth word, you have a dot on top, 2 dots on the bottom, 1 dot on top. So what I'm saying is you have to add in these consonants. You have to add in these consonantal markers or these dots in order to say, okay, this is the letter T or this is the letter Z or whatever.
So you add in the dots to fill in the letters.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you're just reading this by itself, you can't do this without a reading qira'ah. You can't do it without that. So because this isn't counted as the Quran. this right here doesn't. If you read it like this, although it's consistent with the text in the manuscript, it's not the Quran.
Yeah, we just messed around with the dots to see if we can get something else, and we did.
Yeah. So in order to make it the Quran, it has to go according to one of the readings. So that's why I say that the Quran only exists through these readings.
By the way, we're not the first people to have done this. Someone also did the oil thing.
Yeah.
Oil. The word for oil is zayt.
Yeah.
He made a mistake, and his name is Zayyat.
Yeah. Hamza Azayat.
Hamza Zayyat. People hounded him with that mistake. They called him the oil man.
Yeah.
Zayyat.
And
that was real.
The oil man.
It wasn't just us.
if you see the second name on the bottom, second to the bottom, Hamza, that's him. So his Quran got corrected, but he used to read it like that. And then the story goes, he was told, well, this is why you need a teacher, da 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 da. But Hamza gained that nickname Azayat, because he made that oil mistake.
Because he put oil instead of doubt.
Yeah. So instead of that kebab has no oil in it, the Quran through the canonical reading says that book has no doubt in it.
Right.
So the Arabic text, you can fill in the dots however you want to, but the only way you're going to get the Quran is through these readings. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the readings again, the 7 here. Okay. And now you might ask the question, like Amin was saying, you have the 7 dates. Okay. You have a hadith about 7 ahruf, right? So are these 7 qira'at, the 7 readings that we have, are they the ahruf?
No, they're not.
And so the answer is no.
Because no one knows what the ahruf are.
And so this is from Al-Itqan, Jalaluddin Suyuti's book, paraphrasing what he's saying here. He says, some people confuse the 7 readings that Ibn Mujahid chose, the 7 qira'at, with the 7 ahruf. But this contradicts the consensus of the scholars and only the unlearned. So the first 7 on the top, okay, you have the readers, the first 7 readers, and then you have they have 2 students. They limit it to 2 students each. You have the 2 students each. So you're going to see Hafs on the screen there, near like the middle. And then in the 15th century, that was in the 10th century. In the 15th century, someone called Ibn al-Jazari came and added 3 more readings. Yeah. Each reading has 2 students, 2 transmitters. All right.
Wow.
So you want to add, so now we have 7 or 10 qira'at, and the Muslim scholars have told us that they're not the same thing. So the question is then, okay, so what's the relationship to each other? What is the relationship to each other?
Let's pause on that. I got a super chat directly to you guys. It says you guys previously showed the Kumbo and Hafs Quran being different using, I think, chapter 10, verse 16. May you provide us later when you all have time that link. And Avery, congrats on your engagement. Thank you, my brother.
Oh,
but do you know what he's talking about?
Khunbul and Hafs. Oh, he's talking about the variant with Lot. I think he's thinking about
no. He's,
10 verse 16. Sorry, yeah, 10 verse 16 about Allah willing. Yeah, Allah willing.
Allah will let you know. Allah will not make it known.
Yeah, Allah will make. Yeah, we can go over that. You can
just take a screenshot when we come to it, brother or sister.
It's not on this presentation, but we're about to get into now this relationship here, but we do have that as well. So it's chapter 10, 6, and that is the contradiction that Muslims have to deal with too. So that's a good contradiction. 10 verse 16.
All
right. So now all of these things that we're talking about, ahruf, qira'at, let's listen to a Muslim scholar talk about what we just said. Let's let him summarize it. Yasir Qadi.
What is the ahruf? And what is the relationship of the qira'at with the ahruf? Yes. Now, this is one of the most complicated and dense questions that ulama have written about. As-Suyuti lists 40 opinions in Al-Itqan, right? Ash-Shawkani also lists them. The teacher of our teachers, Sheikh Shanqiti, the one who wrote Adwa al-Bayan, right? He was asked, what is your opinion about the ahruf? And he said, my opinion about the ahruf is that I don't have an opinion. This is a Shanqiti. He's so confused.
All right. So that tells us the Muslims that they don't know the relationship between them. They're confused. They're scholars. They don't know.
So what about the average person?
So the scholar doesn't know. What about the average person?
So how can they not define the one thing that's meant to be the miracle in that religion, which is the Quran?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point. It's supposed to be simple, guys. It's supposed to be the simple, easily explained religion. The Quran is made simple in its Arabic, the Quran says, right? It's supposed to be simple and easy. to know and remember. But their scholars are saying that they don't know these things, man. They're confused about this stuff. Tough.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jason really quick. Jason says kebabs need some oil in them, or else they are dry. Must be the wisdom of Allah to produce an ayah like that. Can anybody else produce something like that? I don't think they can, man. That's the miracle.
Actually, we're the one who produced it with the dots.
We got new messengers of Allah, man. We got new prophets here. That's tough. All right, go ahead. I go ahead and continue, man. Thanks for the super chat, Jason. And man,
so how do we have Muslims waiting? Because
yeah, we got somebody named Pahar.
Okay, just one.
Yeah, just one.
Okay, let me ask you this then, because like I said, this can go a long way or we can go kind of different lengths, but I can go through the relationship between ahruf and qira'at as the Muslim scholars say it. We can do that, or we can just go right to the argument and see what the Muslim has to say.
Oh wow. I would like to see the relationship between them.
Okay.
I would like to see that because just for my education.
Oh
man,
that's cool. I like you, man. I like you.
Heck yeah.
Actually, there's going to be stuff here too that is we can use as well. But all right, cool. I just wanted to ask. So this is Muslim scholarship on the relationship between ahruf and the readings. Okay. Now I put in like a note here that is difficult to answer when you have no idea what the ahruf are. Like, how can I say what the relationship is if I don't know what one of them is, right?
Right.
So yeah, go.
Okay, so there's three positions that Yasser Qadi lays out in his book, Introduction to the Quran. There's three positions on this. Do the ahruf exist today? Do the 7 ahruf exist today? Okay. One position is that Uthman burnt 6 of the ahruf and only one of them exists now.
Wow.
Okay. Then there's another view that says some, like an undefined number, exist today. And that's the majority view. So some of them were destroyed, but some of them exist. And then there's a third view that says all 7 exist. So you have like all different, you have like the extremes, only one exists today. Uthman burnt 7. Then you have like the more extreme view saying all of them exist today, all 7 exist today. And then you have the kind of middle view, which is the majority view that says, well, some of them exist. We don't know how many, but we just know some of them exist today. And so here we go. Here's the view that 6 of the 7 were destroyed by Uthman. Okay. So they argue that only one harf, that's the singular of ahruf, only one mode or ahruf exists today. That's what they argue. So Yasser Qadi asked the question, okay, so if that's the case, only one of the ahruf exists, then where do the differences in the different versions of the Quran, like chapter 10 verse 16, like the super chat or the chat was asking, like you have one Quran says this, one Quran says that. So Yasser Qadi is saying like, okay, if only one ahruf exists, one of the ahruf exists, then how can you have these differences between the different Qurans, right? It's a logical question, right?
Right.
Yeah. So he's asking the question like, how can one harf account for all the many different Qurans that we have today? That's kind of my summary of it.
Yep.
Now, remember I said that we would go back to the hadith where Muhammad said to recite whichever is easier for you?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's true that Uthman destroyed 6 of the 7 ahruf, did he destroy something that was like an easement or a mercy from Allah? Because Muhammad said that they were revealed in 7 different ahruf because that's a mercy. That's something that's easy for the Muslim people, right? So how can they say that Uthman, who's not a prophet, right? How can he destroy something that's a mercy? Actually, what Uthman destroyed was something that he was confused about.
Wow.
Right?
But so he was also opposed when he destroyed a lot of these mushafs.
Correct.
Wow. So good. This is so good.
I have nothing to say.
Okay.
I'm confused as well.
Yeah.
So, because remember, Muhammad said when there was differences presented to him, he said, "Oh, there are 7 ahruf."
Yeah.
So if 6 of the 7 destroyed, there shouldn't be any differences.
Right.
Exactly. And that's Yasser Qadi's point as well.
So let's reject that one then.
Okay. So that view. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the other view, the other extreme view. So that view says only one exists. This view says all exist.
Okay.
All ahruf exists. So this group of scholars argues that it's impossible that you'd have companions who would destroy anything that was taught from Muhammad in terms of ahruf. They're like, no way. If they learned the 7 ahruf from Muhammad, there's no way they would destroy it. So they just took that as an impossible position, and they said all of them exist today because they would never destroy something that Muhammad taught and said was the Quran.
Cue them destroying it.
Okay. So Yasser Qadhi asks this question. He says, he says, how is it that we have documented readings of the companions which differ from, remember we talked about the 7 readings and the 10 readings?
Yeah.
Well, we have readings from the companions that differ from those 10.
Mm-hmm.
So this view says that the companions were reading something that were other than the ahruf. So he's like, how can that be? And so what does he mean by that? We're going to go to some examples. So in the Quran that we have today, chapter 24, verse 33, you go to like the majority, all readings of the Quran. They're going to read today like the canonical versions of the Quran. They're going to read today that, and do not compel your slave girls to prostitution if they desire chastity, to seek the temporary interest of worldly life. And if someone should compel them, then indeed Allah is after their compulsion, forgiving and merciful.
Yeah.
So there's something here like,
yeah. So AKA, this is the prostitution verse, basically saying that if you compel your girls to prostitute themselves, Allah will be merciful. Now in the Hafs here, it doesn't say merciful to who, it just says merciful. Ibn Mas'ud's Quran, it says lahunna, which means to them, meaning to the female plural, which says who he'll be forgiving to. So here it says forgiving to the girls that were prostituted, but that's not in any of the canonical readings today.
So the Quran that we have, like the Qurans that we have today, chapter 24, verse 33, all of the 10 readings of the Quran that we have today, and all their students, the 20 students, they all read this way, that if you force slave girls into prostitution, don't compel them to do that if they desire chastity. It doesn't tell us what to do if they don't desire chastity, but anyway, that's another topic. So it says that Allah is going to be merciful and be forgiving. But the question is, who's he forgiving to? Is he forgiving to the girls that were forced into sex slavery, to prostitution, or is he forgiving to like the human traffickers? It doesn't tell us. Right. But Ibn Mas'ud's Quran does tell us. It says that the forgiveness and mercy is to the females that are being prostituted. But that's not any of the readings today. So Yasser Qadhi's point is that the people who say that all of the ahruf exist today in the 10 readings of the Quran, there's 7 or 10 readings, he's saying that they have to account for the fact that Ibn Mas'ud read something completely different from the 10 that we have today. Where did he get this Quran from if it wasn't from Muhammad or wasn't from the ahruf?
Yeah, so they either lost some or didn't include all in the ones that they have today.
And we have another example here. And these Muslims can come and answer for this as well, because these are very pressing questions. So here's another one here, chapter 48, verse 9.
Yeah, it says that you may believe in Allah and His Messenger, support Him, honor Him, and glorify Him, morning and evening. So this is a very problematic verse because it seems to be human to begin with. Support Him, obviously support is for the Messenger. Honor could be for both, but maybe for Allah, but the hymn stays the same. Qatada and other companions say they add the word Allah to glorify. So support Him, they're good with, honor Him, okay, and then they glorify Allah. They add the word Allah to avoid the shirk that is in the Hafs.
Wow.
Yep. And so that's included in any of the things that today. So Yasser Qadhi is going to ask the question: where did these companions get this reading from? They glorify Allah if it's not from the ahruf. So he's saying, hey guys, if you say that all of the ahruf exist in the 10 readings that we have, like spread across them, let's say, well, where did the companions get this from?
Well, they must have had the original ahruf or whatever, but that was lost in the 10 canonical readings now that we have. So it can't be that the 7 ahruf are in them, or yeah.
So the grammar in this verse, as it's in the Hafs and all the other readings, glory that goes back to Muhammad, and that's very problematic. So other companions read it differently. They said, no, the glory goes to Allah. So they added in the word Allah and changed the verb a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yasser Qali, he's arguing that the companions must have been reading from ahruf which are not preserved today. So he's saying, like, look, we have this preservation card, okay, and we need to you can't keep using it for all these different things. We need to save it for something really special. So he's saying, like, the only way we can argue for preservation is if we argue that all the ahruf weren't preserved. Funny enough. So he's arguing that some of the ahruf actually weren't preserved, and that's why we have differences in the Qurans we have today, and that's why the companions have different Qurans than we have today too. So they need to kind of use this excuse to understand and explain all the differences between Qurans today and companion Qurans.
And that's why he couldn't put on a blank mushaf everything that Allah said, because they can't define it. They don't know everything that Allah has said, but they know that they have some of it.
Some of it.
Wow.
So that takes us to the majority view that some ahruf exist. Okay, so they argue that across the 10 canonical readings, that you have portions or some of the 7 ahruf. Okay, so they're not identical. Like, you can't say, this ahruf is. You can't say like hafs is an ahruf. You can't say that. But they argue, well, some ahruf is in hafs and some is in khalud, some is in blah blah blah.
Like,
blah,
it's been sprinkled, like salt sprinkled everywhere in the food.
Yes.
It's not in one Quran or another.
Yeah, and exactly. And so they argue that not all 7 of them, but only the ones that could fit the Uthmanic scripts. Like, remember earlier how I showed you can read the Uthmanic script in different ways? Well, same thing with the ahruf. He's saying you need to get it to fit the script and to accommodate, that alphabet or that, consonantal text.
Wow.
And that's by big scholars like Suyuti, Ibn al-Jazri, and Ibn Hajj.
Yeah. Okay, so now here now that was all kind of a lead up to this. Okay, that was all a lead up to this. Okay, so we don't know barely anything about the ahruf, but we do have a statement from one of the successors of the companions. And now this, if people like were getting bored or things like they were like, okay, this is the part where really want you to pay attention to this now, okay? Because that was all a lead up onto this. Okay, check this out. So one of the disciples of the companions, there's a hadith that has his explanation of this. Hadith.
Ibn Abbas reported God's messenger saying, Gabriel taught me to recite in one harf, and when I replied to him and kept asking him to give me more, he did so until it reached 7 ahruf.
Okay.
And Ibn Shihab, which is a tabi'i, a successor, he said he had heard that those 7 ahruf are essentially one, not differing about what is permitted and what is prohibited.
Okay, now this is the key of the argument here. Okay, this is the key. So here you have a disciple of the companions. Now, he's not just making this up on his own. You can assume he's getting it from a companion, and hopefully the companion didn't just make it up. Hopefully he got it from Muhammad. That's what the Muslim would say. But here you have a disciple of a companion saying that whatever the ahruf are, they do not differ in what's permitted or what's prohibited.
Yeah, so you can't have one mode, one harf saying do something and the other one saying don't do it.
Right.
You can't have one that says halal and the other saying is haram, or one is prohibited and the other one isn't. Exactly. That makes sense? So no difference in commands, no difference in what is permitted and what is forbidden.
How would they know?
Well, you have to ask him.
Yeah. So like, whatever they are, whatever the ahruf are, they can't differ in commandments. Okay, that's the key.
That makes sense, because God can't say adultery is okay in this harf and it's not okay in that one.
Right.
Just otherwise you have to throw away the whole religion.
So here's the heart of the argument here. Okay, if the readings that we have today, okay, whatever view of the ahruf you take, whether you take the view that there's only one that exists, or that there's some that exist, or that all of them exists, if the readings that we have today are made up from the ahruf or some ahruf, then they cannot differ in commandments. Okay, this is the key part of the argument, because that's what the disciple of the companion said.
Yeah.
Okay, but
guess what?
They do. They do different commandments.
I do now.
So we have just 3 examples, and we can go into more. I'm not joking you when I say this. There are people that literally have like an entire PhD dissertation on the differences in legal rulings between the different readings. I'm not joking.
Wow.
It's a huge. So we just took 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so and we're going to show all 3 here.
Yes. So the first example is Surah 5 verse 6 about how to wash yourself. It's called wudu. For people who don't know, if you don't have your washing ablutions correct, then it's not accepted, and then your prayer is not accepted. You need the washing correct and then prayer correct. And if the prayer is not accepted, you're not going to heaven.
Yeah.
So this is very important. So different Qur'ans command washing in different ways. One says wipe your feet, the other one says wash your feet. So which one will you do?
So so ahruf cannot differ in commandments, but the Qurans that we have today do differ in commandments. Okay. So the second one here is chapter 2, verse 184. Some Qurans command a Muslim who doesn't fast during Ramadan for whatever the reason is. They skip their fast or whatever. They're sick or they're traveling. They need to make up for it. Some Qurans say that they need to feed one poor person. Other Qurans say that they need to feed multiple poor people.
Correct. And if you don't if you don't redeem your fasting correctly, you don't go to heaven.
Exactly.
Fasts are obligatory. They don't go away. The Hafs Quran says how many?
Well, we'll
go through it.
Yeah, we'll go through it. Yeah, but there's one.
Yeah.
1 and then 3 plus at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the final example that we're going to give is chapter 2, verse 191. Some Qurans command Muslims not to fight at al-Masjid al-Haram, and some different Qurans command Muslims not to kill. So one says don't fight, the other one says don't kill.
So the one that says don't kill, you can fight just as long as you don't kill. Well, the other one says don't fight at all. So which one will you do?
All right. So now we'll get into these readings here. Okay, so here's chapter 5, verse 6, where it says when you're doing the purification, it says to wash your faces and your forearms to the elbows and wipe over your head and wash your feet to the ankles.
Yeah, so the Hafs says wash.
Okay. And the other one says the same thing, but it says wipe your feet to the ankles. Now, you might be thinking like, okay, washing, wiping, like that's such a small difference. Who cares? But this actually dictates to the Muslim whether he's ritually pure before Allah or not, whether he's going to accept his prayers or not. So it's very important. These technicalities are, I mean, we were watching a video before with Ali Dawa when he was trying to do he was trying to wash his nose. And the sheikh had him redo it like 3 or 4 times.
It has to be perfect
because he couldn't do it right.
Yeah.
So he couldn't wash his nose according to the technical ways that the Muslims have it. So yeah, wiping and washing, this is the technicality that matters if you're ritually pure before God or not.
Yeah, because it's a ritual. It's not just about washing it to wash it to be clean. It's a ritual to be to be clean, not like
dirty,
spiritually.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the word is. Ritually clean.
Yeah.
So it has to be done technically.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was the bottom one?
The bottom one is wipe.
Yeah.
It's
what Quran?
Yeah, that's Ibn Kathir. Al-Bazi. Yeah. So
now, question: don't the Shia have a different way of how they perform wudu?
That's right.
They do, and that's why they're called all names by the other.
Yeah, and this is their difference. And I was listening to a story before. It was told to me that one of these UK rappers who became a Muslim. He married this Lebanese lady, and he went to Lebanon. And in Lebanon, you have it's a rough split between Sunni and Shia Muslim community. So you have basically half and half. And then, half are Shia, half are Sunni. And so he was at the airport, and he was telling the story how he was with some Muslims who were wiping versus some were washing, and it was a huge confusion for him. And so he asked his mother-in-law, and she's like, "Oh, don't go to these people. These people, they're the Shia.
They do it wrong.
Yeah, they're doing it wrong." And so yes, this is a huge thing, and it's just wiping versus washing your feet. But it's a huge division, and like you said, it's a division between Sunni and Shia.
You know that clip where Mimi Hijab is like, "Shut up, your child gonna become apostate." Do you know the beginning of that is people were arguing whether to wipe on top of the leather boot or not. So as to become ritually clean for prayer. He's like, hello, your child, we got 24% of your children leaving Islam, and you're worried about how to wipe.
Wiping your boot, yeah.
But I understand why they argue about wiping it in the right way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're not going to be accepted.
Yeah.
So the top one is Hafs, and
on the left.
About wipe is Ibn Kathir's reading.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
And so roughly half of the readings that we have, like the readings, read one okay, but they read it differently. Yeah. So Hafs is saying to wash, Shu'ba is saying to wipe, but they're getting it from the same teacher.
Wow.
And the difference is like a grammatical diacritical mark. It's arjulakum on one side, the Hafs, and arjulikum on the other. So it's like a vowel difference.
Literally, just a little dot. Like, remember how we showed you how you can add these little dots and you can get it to say like book versus kebab?
That's it.
It's like literally these little difference here, but it makes a huge difference when you're practicing Islam.
Yeah, it's what's called the tashkil mark.
Yeah.
But it makes things different grammatically, where the verb goes to wipe instead of wash.
Yes.
So just to be clear, one more question. Sorry, guys, but
that's cool. That's why we're here.
So Shu'ba, I'm sorry, if I'm saying it wrong. But
Good.
Shu'ba here, he's getting it from Asim as well. So, but his reading is the Ibn Kathir reading.
Yeah, like he agrees with that Ibn Kathir reading, even though he supposedly learned, even though Hafs and him learned it from the same teacher.
They say it differently.
They say it differently.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Hafs says to wash and Shu'ba says to wipe.
Do you think that, like, even though this is a difference in command,
I forgot you were here.
I'm trying not to interrupt, man. I'm listening. I'm taking it in. Me and Jai and DLC did this similar. This is new information, so I'm just listening and taking it in. But we did something similar last week, and I love sitting and listening to you guys. But like one of the things I brought up last time, my stream with you guys was like, do you really think that they even cared about whether or not you were to wipe or to wash or do any of that stuff? Like, was it something that was really that serious to them, or do you think that this is more of just like an innovation within later generations? Because they're clearly different, and they knew it was different.
Wait, say that again. The one more time.
Yeah, I know that one has like the kasra under the bottom, the other has the fatha, so it changes whether or not it's wash or wipe. But I was saying, like, do you think that they even really cared? Like the early Muslims, do you think they even cared if it was like washing or wiping, or do you think that they looked at it as the same thing? The reason why I'm asking is because from what you showed earlier, you're saying that the Qur'an cannot change in like commands, but
right. So whatever the ahruf which the Quran was revealed in cannot differ in commands, but yet the Qurans we have today do different commands, right? Exactly. So I would answer your question differently if it weren't a difference about commandments, because that tradition seems to be like, it seems to go back that they can't contradict each other in commandments. So in another place, I might say, okay, well, yeah, they didn't care about having this kind of I would speculate that based on the information, like, because there's so many contradictions in Islamic literature. But I would say, yeah, you can make a good case that Muslims didn't really care about word for word preservation when it came to other things. But when it comes to commandments, that should be something that they're consistent on, and they're not.
Right. And this is what makes it so sticky, because it's like clearly like you guys contradict each other everywhere, man. Even in what you said, it should not contradict in. So this is damaging for them.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Notice that up to now, there's no talk of anything about dialects.
Yeah, these are not dialects. These are look at what this Muslim scholar says here. Look at what this Muslim scholar here says here. He says that this is a grammarian. So if anyone knows about Arabic, whether it's dialects or grammar, whatever else, this guy Abu Ja'far an-Nahas says that the two readings were akin to two separate verses, and he's talking about this difference here. This difference here.
This dialect thing is a new invention.
Yeah,
you don't see any scholar, any ancient scholar, anyone worth his salt talking about dialect.
None of the companions ever said dialect.
Nobody said it.
Okay, so now our next example here. This is about the verse about redemption for your fast. because Muslims don't have a redeemer, they don't have an atonement, so they need to atone for themselves in Islam. And one of the ways that they atone is by feeding poor people, according to some versions of the Quran. Other versions of the Quran say feed a poor person. So let's say that it's Ramadan. Let's say that you're sick or you're traveling, you miss your fast. You go to this verse in the Quran and you ask the question, okay, what do I need to do to redeem myself from this? I missed the fast. Well, if you're reading Hafs, then you're going to feed one poor person and now your fast is redeemed. You're good. However, if you're reading Warsh, okay, you're reading Warsh or some like half the other readings, they say that you feed poor people. And the way that Arabic works is you have like a singular form of a word, you have a dual form like 2, and then you have a plural for 3 plus, like 3 to 9. And this is the plural 3 plus. So one Quran is saying you need to feed one poor person and then you're good, you're redeemed. Another Quran is commanding that you have to feed at least 3 people. And we have a Tabari here confirming that others read it in the plural as well.
Notice that Hafs, which is most Muslims read today, they're only feeding one person. So if the other ahruf or the other qira'ats happen to be the right ones, they're all finished.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
because they're doing it wrong. They're not
doing
following
only
the command.
one.
They're not fulfilling the
Yeah,
command.
they're only doing one person.
Yep.
wow.
All right.
Wow.
So now this one here, and then we'll get to the summarize everything, and then we'll bring in any of the Muslims who want to come and challenge or talk about these this argument here. So I added in chapter 2 verse 190 just to add context. So we have 190 and 191 here. That 191 is where the difference is, but I added in 190 for context. So
yeah, so some Qur'ans command, fight in the way of Allah those who fight against you, but do not transgress. Indeed, Allah does not like transgressors, and kill them wherever you overtake them, and expel them from wherever they have expelled you, and fitna is worse than killing. And do not fight them at al-Masjid al-Haram until they fight you there. But if they fight you, then kill them. Such is the recompense of the disbelievers.
In the commandments. However, here one of them saying fight, the other one
Other Quran.
Yeah.
So which one is the one that says fight on the top? Which one is that one?
That's like the majority of them. So like Hafs will read it like that. There's 3 readings like Hamza and his 2 students. Then you have Al-Kisai and then Khalaf. They read it the bottom way. So it's like a more minority of readers, but they still exist within the canonical readings.
So it's like qatiluhum versus
let me show the Arabic here. It's very very subtle differences actually, like with the Arabic, but it changes it from fight to kill.
Yeah. So so the one on the left has the alif. وَلَا تُقَاتِلُوهُمْ, don't fight. Whereas the one on the right says وَلَا تَقْتُلُوهُم, don't kill.
Yep.
So
see.
good.
So, and some of the commentators, they ask questions. They're like, so for the reading that says, don't kill them until they kill you. It's like, well, wait a minute, how can you kill them if they killed you?
Yeah, you already
Exactly.
did.
Exactly.
So some commentators actually asked that. Now the commentators are asking these questions before Ibn Mujahid came and say, hey, these are the readings you have to follow. Otherwise, you're not following. Otherwise, you don't have the Quran. Like you don't have a valid Quran to do in prayer and ritual.
Yeah, they were asking those questions well before.
Yeah.
And they were trying to rationalize, saying, well, maybe the rest of you should kill.
Right.
If some of you got killed, it's talking about what the rest of you should do. They're trying to rationalize.
But it's not clear.
It's not very clear, no. And it's not clear what you should do, whether you should fight or kill.
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, we have Al-Jalalain who confirms this point. So, yeah, that brings us to, this is like just 3 examples that we have. And so here's like the argument here. If the ahruf cannot differ in commandments, and the qira'at do differ in commandments, then the qira'at, at least in these instances, cannot be derived from the ahruf. So the Muslim, where do these differences in commands between the Qur'ans come from? That's the argument.
Yeah, because the ahruf are all meant to be the same in commandments. So the differences must have come from somewhere.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
So that would mean that these aren't ahruf. So what are these?
Exactly.
So you've come to the same point that all the scholars have come to.
Yes.
Where are those ahruf?
I don't have an opinion.
And what's really interesting about this too is that apparently, like what you're saying, that they can't differ in command, then you have to ask the question, because the Muslims will say, well, it's written in, Allah, what is it, Allah Mahfuz? the book in heaven or whatever with Allah.
Yeah,
So
right.
here's the question then. So which one of these is written on that book? How do we know which one it is? I mean, you can't say all of them are written.
Yeah, exactly. Good question. Good question.
That's the question that the Mimi Hijab and Aidawa asked their more learned brother, and he said what's
difference,
written, what's written on the tablets is in the unknown, is in the unseen, and we will not be given access to the unseen.
We'll be given access to
That's
it.
what he said.
Wow.
Maybe you have the clip, Jai.
Yeah, I have the clip if you guys want that. It's in another slide, but yeah, that's what they say. That's what the scholar says.
Yeah. So where are we now? Where is the Quran and all this?
Yeah.
Where has it been preserved?
Yeah. Because remember, Muhammad said that the Quran is revealed in 7 ahruf. Okay, so that's what the Quran is. The Quran is in 7 ahruf. So if the ahruf now can't differ in commandments, but yet the Qurans we have today do different commandments, well, where do they come from? Because they can't be coming from the ahruf. But yet the ahruf are the Quran. That was what. So you know. So that's.
And remember
it.
that Allah promised to preserve the Quran.
Yes.
And it's 7 ahruf, which is according to Muhammad, exists.
Yes.
So did he not now fail to have preserved those 7 ahruf?
Exactly.
You know what? I know where they're getting the ahruf from. I know exactly where they're getting these from. Muslims come up all the times and say that the real Injil is hidden underneath the Vatican. That must be where they're getting the other ahruf from. It must come from underneath the Vatican as well. Everything's underneath the Vatican.
Yeah. Well,
that's what they say, right?
They still have to come to people of the book then to get their.
Still gotta come to us. Still gotta come to us, man. Wow, so good, so good. So, guys, I hope you guys are getting this. I hope you guys understand the argument here. The argument is that the ahruf cannot differ in commandments. They cannot differ in what is forbidden or what is not forbidden. So what we're showing is that these variants actually differ, not just in wording, but in actual commandments. They differ, they give opposite commands. And so if they're giving different commands and the ahruf do not differ in commands, then where are these differences coming from? These cannot be the ahruf. It can't be by their standard, by their logic.
Exactly.
This is tough. This is tough, man. Wow. That's
yeah.
Good.
So what you think? What you think of that argument? Because that could have just been presented in like 5 minutes, but I wanted to give like that whole backdrop so that we can show like these are all the positions the Muslim takes. This is like a checkmate, no matter what they say.
I love it. I love it. As a matter of fact, I want to use it immediately and see it done. We got Muslims waiting, but yes, I'm gonna definitely practice this for sure. Okay. So we got a Muslim in the back. He's been anxious to come on up.
Okay.
What's going on, man?
Okay, lovely. I'm back. So I got a question for Mr. J.
Okay, what's up?
Okay, where are you from? What's your background, sorry?
Straight to
you
the
and the girl.
Let's go straight to the doctor.
You and the girl.
The girl. I have a name.
You and the girl.
I have a name.
Yeah.
Okay, now can I ask you a question? What degree, to what level? Because can you please bring them back up? Bring them quick. Bring that back up. Bring that back up.
If they bring it up, are you going to be able to actually tell them?
Even both of them. We're going to discuss both.
Bring it back.
Bro, if they bring it back up, are you going to be able to tell them why they're wrong?
Yeah, easily. 100%, million.
Okay, guys, watch what he said. He said easily. Okay.
Easily, bro. This is what I'm saying to you now, Jay. Listen, this is why I asked, where's your background? Because to what level have you studied, even, forget Arabic because you're speaking English, right? To what level have you studied the English language?
Okay, what does that have to do with the argument?
No, I'll show you because
just respond to the argument.
Well, we can read.
We can read. I'm going to respond to the argument now.
Okay, respond to the argument then.
What you've shown, even in the English language, is consistent.
Okay, how so?
Okay, so go back. I'll show you. So just to get a basis, guys, everybody listening, just to get a basis, I'm going to explain it myself, but just to get a basis of what he understands, can you tell us what syntactic language is?
Tell us what the argument is first.
Tell me. Okay, can you tell me what syntactic language is?
Look, I know you're excited. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Relax.
No, because you're wrong. Easy.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
We
Listen. Okay, listen.
No,
Tell
go
us
back,
what
go
the
forward,
argument
go forward,
is.
go
Tell us
forward,
what the
go forward.
argument is. Tell us what the argument is. So we
Okay,
know
the
where you
argument
understand
you
it.
provided, you've just shown 2 English translations, and you're here trying to say,
Okay,
I
we'll
didn't
give it
even
to you in
listen. I
Arabic.
didn't
Then.
even listen to you when you made this mistake, because ever since you started saying
Which
they're
mistake?
Which mistake?
contradictory,
Yeah,
yeah.
which
So
mistake?
you,
Teach us.
What's the argument? No, what's the
you
argument?
said that
Don't
they're
run.
contradictory, and you said it's
Don't
not
run.
clear. You said it's
Don't
not
run.
clear. Go back
Don't
to
run.
that. Go back to that. Go
No,
back to that
no.
statement.
What is the argument? What is the
Yeah,
argument?
you
that we're
said that
making?
it's contradictory and they're not consistent, but
Who
you're
said?
wrong under
Did we say
everything.
contradictions?
No, I didn't remember that.
We didn't.
No,
Did
no, you
anyone
said it's
use
not
the word
consistent. You
contradiction?
said,
No, we
do they
didn't.
fight? Do they kill? Do they kill? Do they? Which one?
Did
You were
we say it's a
talking, you were saying they're
contradiction?
not
We didn't
consistent.
say contradiction.
You were
Did we
saying
say
there's
contradiction?
a difference in the commandments, though, right?
Okay,
Yes.
there is a
Okay.
difference.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what
wrong.
we said.
Now go back to
Okay.
it.
So
Go back
hold
to
on.
the
No.
same sentence you had
Explain.
up.
No. Say what the argument is first.
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna
we-
say you're wrong. There's no
Yes.
change.
What's the argument? What's the argument that we're
There's
making?
no. Okay, bring the quote back up. Bring it back
No.
up.
What is the argument that we're making?
Please bring it up.
You
Bring it up.
came up really heated. You
Yeah,
must
I
know what
came
we're talking.
up to talk about this, so bring it up.
Okay. So what is the argument that we're making?
But you need
Okay,
our slide,
so
right? You're
I
so
want
educated.
so
You need
the
our
argument we're
slide.
making
Hey,
under
hey,
so just
hey,
to get a
Miracle,
just
whatever
to
your
get a
name
hindsight.
is, whatever your name is, you want to teach us, but you need our slide, correct?
Okay, so just to get a hindsight, guys, because you
No.
just posted 2 of them
Look.
quotes,
We're
right?
not gonna move. We're not gonna move past
Let
this.
me. You
Tell us
keep
what the
interrupting
argument
me.
is.
Stop interrupting me.
Yeah. So the reason
Yeah.
why, hold on, let me
not
jump
going
in here.
anywhere.
Let me jump in here.
Even
So,
in English, they're
my
consistent.
guy.
Okay.
So you came up. The reason why they're pressing you on this is because you came up
Yeah.
challenging them. You came up as if you had an answer to
I
the
do.
argument here. So they want to know. They want you to tell them what their argument is. Say
Okay,
what
so
the
if
argument is,
okay,
and then
so the part where they were talking about the wash and the ankles, and they're saying that it's not consistent. They're completely wrong. Even forget Arabic.
what is not consistent?
They're saying that it's not consistent. Do you wash your hands? They're saying that the message is not consistent.
Hand.
We
These
didn't say
guys, bro. This guy's not even
Whatever
listening.
they
Yeah.
said,
Say
whatever
hands.
they said is completely wrong. Put it back up.
Miracle.
No,
Miracle
look.
doesn't sound like
Stop.
you're doing it.
He said whatever they said, it's completely wrong.
Oh, okay. Then that's not fair. You don't even know what we said.
You
Yeah.
don't
We
know what
didn't
they
say hands.
said, bro.
Okay,
We didn't
so
say hands. Did
can
we
you
say
put it
hands?
back
We didn't
up,
say
please?
hands.
Can you put it back up?
Look. Do you want us to tell you the argument and then you can try to
Yeah,
refute it?
just bring it up,
Okay.
please. For
All right.
people
Let
to
me
see.
let me tell you the argument first before. Just relax, man. Just relax. Let me tell you the
Bro, I
argument.
want to just this one quote
He's
because I'm
about
not
to
here
tell
to
you
have a.
hey, bro.
Because yeah,
I've
I've already
he's
heard you.
about
I've
to
been
tell you
sitting
the
here.
argument. He's about
Okay.
to tell you the argument, and then you can refute it.
Okay. So first thing, miracle is that miracle?
It's
Okay.
in Miracle 6.
Okay. Miracle 6. First of all, according to your understanding, what are the ahruf?
You strawman my point again now. Listen,
Straw man. I'm
We're
asking a
asking you a
question.
my
question.
You
point.
can't straw
Yeah,
man
because
someone
we're
asking
talking
a
about
question.
the statement that you provided, and I'm talking to you about how it's consistent and
Yeah,
there's
Yeah.
no
I want to know what
difference
your
in the
understanding of
meaning.
ahruf. What is your understanding of ahruf?
So
Out
yeah,
of the
but I'm
many
talking to
40
you about the
opinions.
statement. Just don't worry about what my understanding, because
Yeah,
what I say you don't
I'm very
believe
worried about it.
anyways.
I'm very worried about it. We're not
Yeah,
going to move
because what
past
I
that.
say you don't believe anyways. So religion
It
aside,
doesn't matter.
I'm just proving to you that your statement, even in English language, with religion
Okay.
aside, is
Okay.
completely wrong. Your view. You don't know
Arabic,
what syntactic
English.
language is.
Okay, Arabic, English. Put it to the side. I want to know what's your position. What is your understanding of what ahruf
Yeah,
is?
so okay, so wait, can I ask you now? Because you're asking me a
No,
completely
no, no,
different
no.
question. You're doing the same
You're
thing.
the
Answer the
Muslim.
question.
You're
Answer
the
the
Muslim.
question.
You tell us what your religion is. What
An-
is ahruf?
Bro, I'm not here to give a recap of my history. I'm just
What is
answer the
ahruf,
question.
dude? Miracle. You said you can't believe anything we
Yeah,
say.
but you're
We're
running from
asking
the top.
you. We're asking you what is ahruf.
All
Let's
right,
start from the beginning so you can teach us, right?
Oh, he bounced.
Oh, you left?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I
he's-
understand. Look, they come in all emotional. They come in hot. It's like they don't. He doesn't even know what the argument is. He said wiping versus washing hands.
Yeah, we didn't say hands.
Who said anything about hands? Okay, so just to recap. Okay, so you have a student of one of the companions. Okay, one of the companions said that the ahruf cannot differ. What's permitted and what's prohibited. Okay, so they don't differ in commandments. They're essentially one. Okay, this is a student of the companions. That the ahruf cannot differ in commandments. Then we'll use the example that he said that you can do it in English or Arabic, whatever. This one says you're commanded to wash your feet to the ankles when you're doing your purification. Another Quran says you're to wipe your feet to the ankles, to which a Muslim scholar who is an Arabic grammarian, Abu Ja'far al-Nahas, said that the two readings were akin to two separate verses. Why? Because one of them is commanding you to wash your feet to the ankles, the other one's saying to wipe your feet to the ankles. But wait a minute, I thought a student of the companion said that they don't differ in commandments.
Yeah, it's not us that have discovered this and said it. It's their scholars, and the Nahas is one of their scholars. He said it's so different. It's like you might as well have had a different verse.
Yeah.
And we didn't say anything about hands. It's about the feet.
Exactly.
And if you knew the verse, you would know what that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's asking us about our qualifications. We can read, which is a lot more that could be said for his prophet. What's his prophet's qualifications? What are all the companions or all not scholars? They were all scholars in the desert? I don't think so. A bunch of Bedouins, and they're the ones that gave you a Quran. Scholars came afterwards. They had time, centuries to study this, and they were like, we don't know what this ahruf is. We can't define it. We still don't know. So if you want to blame someone for this confusion, it's not us. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, this whole preservation thing, I don't think preservation is a miracle, being myself, because I can tell my descendants to preserve a book right now and they could preserve it for 1,000 years. Does that mean it's from God? No.
Yes,
but they claim that that's the case. Even that falls through. It's pathetic on all levels.
Agreed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Muslim, you're welcome to join. Hit the link and tell us why we are wrong. We're looking at the Qurans and the different Qurans that are out there in the masjid. So come on up, engage with the subject, and please, guys, make sure you are engaging with the arguments at hand. Make sure you listen. All right. Yeah, so you can come on up. Oh, you want another? Come on up. Make sure your devices are connected, Muslims. It says that your devices are not connected, so make sure your device is connected so I can bring you up. All right.
I did want to say he started off, remember, guys, he started off saying he can easily debunk you guys. Easily.
We'd love to.
Yeah, you kind of have to understand what we're saying first before you debunk us.
Yeah, if you're coming saying hands and we meant feet, then I don't know where to start. Like I told Jai before we came, this kind of material, it's way above Muslims. I'm sorry, Muslims levels. You need to chop your expectations in half and then chop them in half again. Because Muslims don't even know the Quran, the one they have, the Hafs. They don't even know that very well, or the Hadith, the ones they actually have. You're going to tell them there are other Qurans and other ones, and the rabbit hole goes further. They can't handle it.
All right, so Miracle's begging to come back up. He came back, so let's see. Miracle, I'm going to give you one last chance, man. Don't be over talking, folk. Calm down, relax. Deal with the argument at hand. Do not waste our time asking nonsensical questions. Oh, there's somebody else that wants to come up too. I'm gonna bring up somebody else actually.
Okay.
How you doing, Islam?
No, that's how they fight. Which Quran? Which Quran is that?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Which Aruf is that one?
Which one is that?
Yo,
man?
these guys are hilarious, man.
Oh, man.
They're hoping that the miracle will engulf us.
All right,
Miracle is back.
You're back, man. So
Miracle,
do you understand the argument, Miracle? You got to unmute, bro.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So can you bring that thing back up, please, again?
All right. The example in chapter 5, verse 6, we'll bring that up for you. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, because you translated in English, right? So I'll go off it by English, right? And
you can read in Arabic too.
You can read in Arabic.
Yeah, even in Arabic. So you're Arabic speaking, right? So does it say the
Are
same
you
thing?
Arabic? Are you Arabic speaker as well?
No, personally, I'm not Arabic speaker.
Oh, well, that's.
So yeah, I'm asking you.
How
So
does he know?
as you're an Arabic speaker, is that what it says in English, right?
Yes, correct.
Word by word, both of them.
Yes.
Correct.
And are these meant to be two different ahrufs?
No.
Different qira'at, my friend.
Yes.
Okay, qira'at, so a way of recitation, yeah?
So the question is, if the ahruf cannot differ in commandments, like what's halal, what's haram, what are the commandments of God? The question is, where do these two readings come from if they're not supposed to differ in commandments if they come from the ahruf? Where do they come from?
Okay, so you're arguing they differ in commandment. I'm arguing they don't differ in commandments.
All right.
Okay. How so?
So the thing is, even we all know Arabic is my bad. Arabic is the older language than English, right?
I don't know that.
So
but okay,
go ahead.
on.
Go
It's
ahead.
a Semitic language. We don't have to. Okay, it's a Semitic language. Anyways, it's confirmed. You could check. It's a
Yeah, but
Semitic language, right?
it has words and meanings, though. I can
Yeah,
still
yeah,
know
of course. I
it.
never said that it doesn't. Of course, because you guys have 1,000 words for camel, so it just varies. I
No, we
understand
don't.
that.
No, that's
In
not the
Arabic,
case.
that is.
Uh,
In
this
normal
is a
Arabic.
guy who thinks that Arabic is like a miracle language.
Arabic is just the same as
No,
any
I'm
other
not saying
language.
that. I
my
don't
friend.
argue that. But okay, cool.
Okay.
So
So go
you
ahead. Go ahead.
guys
Make
have
your argument.
agreed.
Make your argument.
You guys have agreed now that this English translation here,
Mhm.
so as the black text says, some Qurans command, and the other one says some Qurans command. So you're saying that this is in different Qurans, right? From this.
That's correct.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
lovely. And you said that it differs in commandments, but now even in the English language, under syntactic language, do you know what syntactic language is?
Yeah. Go ahead. Just make
Yeah,
your
just
point.
make
Make
your
your
point
point.
so you know what we're talking about.
We'll
Yeah.
see
So
what
just to ask you, what's syntactic language?
Okay, look, if you want to try to quiz us on our knowledge of linguistics, Arabic and English, you can do that. What we're interested in is what's your answer to this? What is your answer to this?
Okay. So
Do you know?
syntactic language is the arrangement. Let me tell you what it is first, because if you
I
don't know
know what
what
it is.
Yeah, we
I know
know
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
I know what it is.
But that doesn't help you
okay,
because
so what's
both
the
both-
most okay, so what's the most
okay,
basic
I'll
syntax?
tell
What
you.
does it follow?
Oh my god.
Look, the syntax is what changes this is what makes it a difference in command. Okay, it puts it in one case it's in the nominative case, the other one is in the accusative case, depending on where you put the vowel mark. It goes to
you know the word faghsilu? Faghsilu in Arabic is in the verse. It means to wash.
To wash.
Faghsilu. Okay, and the other word is called wamsahu.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, depending
Okay,
on
so you
to
speak
wipe.
good English. I'm not gonna lie. You do speak
No,
good
it's
English.
Arabic.
You speak good English. Oh no,
okay,
no,
but
just talking English
that's
in general.
No,
Because
but
you have
okay,
a good
but
English
hold on.
accent, right? So
Okay, but hold
Yeah,
on. So depending on where the vowel is in the word for your feet, okay,
Yeah.
your word for your feet, depending on where the vowel is, it goes back to one of those two verbs.
Yeah.
And so when it has it in one position, it goes back to the verb to wash.
Mhm.
When it's in another position, it goes back to the verb to wipe. So they're different commandments.
Yeah, both the words are in the verse. Both the words are in the verse, to wipe and to wash. فَاغْسِلُوا وَامْسَحُوا. But when it comes to the word for feet, وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ, in the Hafs, the tashkil, the critical mark, goes back to the word فَاغْسِلُوا,
Yes.
which means to wash. And in the other Quran, it says وَأَرْجُلِكُم, so
with a
kasra, so there's a different tashkil. It goes back to the word to wipe, which is wamsahu.
okay,
So,
nice.
so actually both are in the verse. So you can't argue that we've
Okay, yeah. No, nice. I'm not
Do you
arguing.
actually understand?
Okay,
Can you
nice.
can you repeat
Yeah,
it back
so
to me just so I know?
I've read both of these. I've
Okay.
read both of these now because you're talking about the verbs, but from what so just to basically go off that, what you're saying, because to match your point, you're saying they don't follow the commandments, and then you're trying to give evidence that they don't follow the commandments, but that's still
That's
wouldn't
one-
work out.
that's
It
one
wouldn't work out under
example.
it just
Yeah, well,
wouldn't
that's
work
one
out under the
example.
syntactic rules, because under syntactic rules,
Oh,
right?
Syntactic
Even the
rules
most
change
simplest,
wash and
the
wipe.
most basic syntax, right? Do you know what the most? Just to ask you, obviously, because we're talking about syntax, right? And
look,
No, we're not talking about syntax.
Look,
Miracle.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
just
this contains syntax
look.
language, but in order to
Wait,
understand the
wait,
verse, you need to know
Miracle,
what
stop,
syntax
man.
language
Is
is.
there a difference in the wording here?
There's zero difference in the commandment at all, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, so yeah, please tell me. Does it say to wash your hands? Wash your feet, or does it say to wipe your feet?
So statement one, I'll give it as statement one, and I'll give it as statement two, right?
Okay.
So statement one says wash your face and your forearms to the elbow, wipe over your heads, and wash your feet to your ankles, right? So this statement is a compound sentence, and we know compound sentence have syntax. So it's a compound sentence composed of three main clauses, each given a command. Number one, wash your face.
Look, you have no idea. Look, miracle. Look,
Yeah,
so each
this is what's
clause is
called
corollary
waffling. This is what's
structure.
called
So
waffling.
so
Miracle, relax. You said you were going to be civil this time. Just relax.
bro, you're interrupting me. You're not civil.
Yeah, because you're going on nonsense. Look, you don't know.
This is not nonsense. What? This is
Why don't you just ask him what he does when he performs wudu? Do you wash your feet or do you wipe?
Do you deny that each clause is
No,
parallel
miracle, stop, bro. Miracle, stop. When you perform wudu, do you wash your feet or do you wipe them?
That's
okay,
the
so
question.
how does this? So the start of in blue, what does it start with?
Bro, I'm asking you a simple, direct question. Do you wipe your feet or do you wash them?
So both of them are consistent. It's
I'm
wash,
asking,
wipe,
what
same
do
thing.
you do?
What's
What
the
do
command?
you do?
Of course, we wash the feet standard. And look, it says that. How do
Okay,
we
so
know
you
that?
don't wipe
Because
them? So you don't wipe them?
no, you're wrong now. This is what I'm saying.
No, I'm asking.
You're doing the
Bro,
exact word fallacy. So I'll tell
bro,
you
you're
why.
turning
Because
into a Grand Theft Auto NPC,
bro, you're
bro.
trying to correct me, but
Just,
I'm studying
listen,
English
bro. This is
literally
not
a
English.
university degree.
This is not
This
English.
is Arabic.
man.
This is Arabic, my friend.
This is crazy,
Study
man.
English. Look, even in this is. Can you guys see? We have it translated here. This is in English, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
This is in
Yeah.
English. Wash your feet to the ankles. Wipe your feet to the ankles.
It's literally that simple.
That's the command. Is the command to wipe your feet to the ankles or to wash your feet to the ankles? I think everyone else gets it.
And their own scholars didn't give this syntax nonsense.
Yeah,
look
what their scholars
they
said.
said this is a problem.
Yeah, he said this is akin to reading two different verses.
Yeah, Nahas said that. He didn't say syntax, blah blah. He said وَالْقِرَاءَتَانِ بِمَنْزِلَةِ آيَتَيْنِ.
Yep, two ayahs.
The two ayahs, ayatayn. Al-qira'atan, the two qira'as are like two ayahs.
Yeah. So he's saying right here, they're like two separate verses.
You guys, it's very, very simple. One says wash and the other says wipe. I don't care what the syntax is, all that nonsense. I'm very simple. And it's not English, it's Arabic.
If you were to ask him when he takes a bath, does he wash himself or does he wipe himself in the shower? I guarantee you he's going to say he washes himself. Any one of y'all that go in the shower and just wipe yourself with a Kleenex rag or one of those or one of those Lysol rags, like, come on, man, this is easy.
And some Muslims wipe instead of wash. They do it differently.
Sunni and Shia differ on this. Yeah. So the point is that the commandments differ. So we have another Muslim here.
Yeah, Muhammad, how are you? Welcome to the stage. Muhammad.
This guy again.
Oh my God, bro. This is insane, bro. Yo, like GTA, I guarantee you they watch Avery streams. So when they come out with the next games, they already know how to program the NPCs. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we want to get into the grammar, like, we know how to get into the grammar and say, oh yeah, this is accusative, this is nominative.
I can get to the grammar,
but it's not gonna. That's talking past. I mean, a lot of people don't know what terms mean. We don't need to get technical. It's really simple. Wash your feet or wipe your feet. That's the simple thing. We don't need to get into technicalities.
He's using semantics to argue, but even his scholars didn't use semantics. They looked at it and thought, there's no go. There's no way we can argue. Because if they could argue it, they would have.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the Arab, the grammar in Arabic. It's quite easy, actually, quite easy grammar. It's to do with the object of the word.
Or subject.
And it's to do with the huruf al-gar, like some
prepositions,
some letters that have to change the grammar of a word. That's how I know it's to wipe on the other side, because it has a word, one of these letters, prepositions that actually changes the meaning. Sorry, changes the grammar and changes the meaning. I can get into the grammar. It's not a problem. It's quite easy grammar.
Yeah, but he's saying he wants to, like, that's just a distraction that he's trying to use, because it's really simple. We simplified it.
Yeah.
I think everyone can understand it, but in order to avoid it, he just tries to,
Yeah, we know what a sentence is.
Yeah.
We know what sentence structure is, but how does that help him?
But also remember, he came up and said he didn't even speak Arabic. He can't read it. He couldn't tell the difference between a sad or a dad on the paper, but he wants to tell you guys that it's wrong. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, and we don't have 1,000 words for camel.
Yeah.
That's almost every single thing he said was wrong, and Arabic is not the oldest language.
No, this is just a myth that Muslims used to magnify that.
Yeah, they try to make it into this magical language and mystify it. It's really not that complicated. It's quite simple. There were a bunch of Bedouins in the desert. They spoke Arabic. It's not that complicated. It really isn't. I mean, it can get more complicated as you go into poetry and more nice language, but it's not that kind of language in the Quran. It really isn't.
Yeah, this is simple, and any of the commentators that talk about the variant readings will acknowledge this. This is just simple understanding.
Yeah, and if you want to bring something to us to say you guys are wrong, you have to bring a scholar saying everybody's wrong. I'm a great scholar. This is how I explain this away. You don't find that in Muslim literature. You just don't. But you find these Muslims who are brave enough to go against these big conclusions as scholars that have already been settled hundreds of years ago. We're not the ones settling this. We're just bringing it to the surface. These people are hundreds of years old.
All right, we
have someone.
You got Ramon up here. How you doing?
Hey, yeah, guys, I'm fine. How are you?
Pretty good. Are you a Muslim?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Did you have a question or maybe an objection? You can go ahead freely.
Yeah, so just a couple of things I wanted to mention, right? So, sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry. What's up?
All right. So God logic. This argument, it's simple, right?
Sorry.
We can use this. We can teach it to people.
Yep.
These are the things that Muslims are going to come back with when they don't want to answer. They're just going to be, oh, you're going to get into this grammar, syntax, and syntactical structure.
Okay, let's
and
get into the grammar. Bring me a grammarian scholar.
Yeah.
Who
Hey,
said
guys,
what?
I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so just a couple of things I wanted to mention, right? So the first thing is, right, when I've spoken to Christians in the past and essentially the debates I've heard on YouTube of Muslims with Christians, when Muslims ask them simple questions, they can't give a direct answer and they worm their way around it. And I find that really
frustrating. Can you deal with the topic that we have today?
You must have confused them with Muslims, my friend.
Yeah,
That's exactly our experience with you.
Let's see what this topic today, what we're discussing today. So
I know, but
answers to this?
And I know that's what I'm doing. Just give me a moment, right?
Yeah, well, that's actually not what you're. That's actually not what
we
you're
don't
doing.
need a big khutbah against Christians. We don't need a big sermon against Christians. We got something on the screen. Do you have anything to contribute?
No, the thing is, if you just give me a minute to speak, and then you understand, I'm actually being quite reasonable, right?
You speak on the topic, then you can go all you want to.
You came attacking Christians, man, when it's your Quran that's in trouble. So I don't know what your sermon was about.
You know, if you let me finish, you'd actually probably say, you know what, this guy's actually reasonable. But you didn't even let me finish.
You're not reasonable.
You just heard the first half of the sentence and you just started
Right,
yelling.
so
Can I finish the sentence?
You're saying Christians can't answer simple questions. What does that have to do with the topic today?
Nothing.
It has nothing to do.
Listen, there's no need to get so defensive. Just let me finish. Then if I'm saying something... Oh, my God.
Ramon. So we have a topic on the stage, man. Obviously, we're willing to hear you out, hear your opinion on the topic at hand. When you start off coming off saying, you know, seemingly appearing to attack Christians that you've seen a debate that's what gives you this reaction where we shut that down.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Correct you. So if you can just say something.
What I was going to say is the point you guys are making now is a valid point in terms of those two different words for wiping and washing, and they're both there. And what I was going to say, if you had let me finish, was that Muslims are coming on the call now, and they're basically trying to say, no, they're both the same, when they're clearly different.
Well, why don't you tell your Muslim friend then?
I'm not with them on the call, right? But I guess I'm calling it out now, right? Now it's my turn, right? So I'm saying, you know, I agree with you that these two words are different. So there's no point trying to say they're not different and trying to talk around different sentences or get into semantics in terms of how it's phrased, right? So, okay, they're different, right? So credit, right? When it's due, okay, one says wash the feet, the other one says wipe the feet.
So what do you do? Do you wash or you wipe? If you don't mind me asking, do you wash?
I wipe.
You wipe?
Oh, are you Shia?
Oh, you're Shia?
Yeah, I used to be Shia.
But you still wipe even though you're not Shia anymore.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. So I was born and raised in a Shia household, right? But after researching, I don't find a lot of the practices they have in line with the Quran, essentially, and the Prophet Sunnah. So my beliefs are aligned more towards Sunniism, but I don't call myself Sunni simply because the Quran says don't split into sects, right? So I don't want to label myself as Sunni or Shia. But my practices are more in line with the Sunni belief, if that makes sense.
Okay, so do you believe? So first of all, so Avery and everyone else, so Shia don't believe in the story about 7 ahruf. They only believe that there's one. So that's where they differ with that's a big difference they have with Sunnis. So what's your position? Do you believe that there's 7 ahruf or one, or what do you? What was the Quran revealed? Was it revealed in 1 or 7?
I think there's a lot of evidence to prove that, or show anyway, that there's 7. I would say there are 7. I wouldn't say there's perhaps just 1.
And can they differ in commandments? Like Ibn Shihab said they cannot do?
Yeah, like the one that you just showed. Yeah, one said wash and the other one said wipe, right? So there's slight difference there, right?
Right. So you are disagreeing with Ibn Shihab, right?
Yeah.
That he said that the ahruf cannot differ in commandments. You're saying that actually they can.
Well, yeah, one said wash, one said wipe. Yeah, so you know when you quote scholars, irrespective of how big they would be, right? So I don't fall back on them and say, oh well, oh he's right or he's wrong. I'm okay to say, well, yeah, I disagree with him. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind saying that. Like, you know, okay. On the day of judgment, God's not going to say to me, oh well, which scholar did you follow? I'm like, you know, God, I'm just trying to read your book, right? So yeah, I mean, I disagree with the scholar basically. Yeah, fine.
So what do you fall back on then, Ramon?
Fall back in the sense.
You said you don't fall back on scholars.
Yeah, what do you
fall back on?
Yeah, so basically, the Quran has given us essentially core beliefs to guide us to what the truth is.
Which Quran?
One God. Any Quran that you pick, even if you've got different arafs or dialects, the key message is essentially. Okay.
Sorry, but it's not dialect. Like you just mentioned now, wash and wipe is not different dialects, it's different words. So which of these Qurans do you fall back on?
Well, I'm going to wipe. I wipe the feet. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm trying to think a bit bigger, right? So, even if, for example, on the day of judgment, I find out that I should be washing and not wiping, I don't think God's going to hold me to account and say, "Oh well, okay, you washed and didn't wipe, so you're going hell now," right?
Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from? Because if it's a command in the Quran, you should respect it, right?
No, of course I respect it, right?
So where do you get that idea that Allah won't hold you accountable for that, and it would be big for Him? Because if it's big enough to put in His Quran to wash or wipe, whichever Quran you use, if you get the Quran wrong,
statements that you're referring to are one wash, one wipe, right? So if they're both there, but they're both right, pick which one you want.
But who says they're both? Who says they're both right?
Because that's the whole point of our presentation. We're asking, what's the origin of these different readings? What's the origin of them?
Because that's a scholar or a reader or a student that you're still falling back on. You said you don't fall back on anyone, but these are the people that I've given you one that says wipe and another one says wash. So how do you know which one's right and which one to fall back on?
Yeah, exactly. Now, unless I become a scholar myself and become an expert in the Arabic language and study for years and years, and even then, I might still not find the truth, because as you mentioned, I think you mentioned some scholars previously who they themselves who have studied for so long still don't really understand this topic that well, right?
Right. So what does that say about your religion, that you can't fall back on anyone and you have to become a scholar yourself, when other scholars have given their whole lifetimes and they still don't know? Do you not think that's a bit wobbly?
I do think it's a bit suspect, but to be honest, when you look at the Quran that we have, right, the major
which Quran?
Which one? Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, so we've got one Quran which has got essentially dialects and ahruf, right? Doesn't matter which one you pick, but whichever one you pick, the key message across the main pillars of our faith remain the same.
So how do you? So were you here when we were showing like the Quran of Ibn Mas'ud, for example, how he has like different wordings, or Qatada and other companions? Did you see that part?
No.
Okay. So there are companions who read the Quran differently than the Qurans that we have today. So we're asking you now, how do you know which Quran is the valid Quran? Because you don't agree with scholars, you don't fall back on the scholars. How do you determine this Quran is the one that Muhammad read? How do you know that?
So so when you say the Quran I'm reading today is different to the Quran I read from however X amount of time ago, what's different? What is being said that is different?
We'll just give you an example. So we'll put it on the screen here. This is just one example, by the way. We can give you entire chapters that are missing and different, but we'll just give you this one where it's literally just one single word, but it changes the verse. So in any Quran that you have access to today, you go to chapter 24, verse 33, and it says, "Do not compel your slave girls to prostitution if they desire chastity, to seek the temporary interest of worldly life. And if someone should compel them, then indeed Allah is after their compulsion, forgiving and merciful." Now, Ibn Mas'ud, and to clarify who the mercy and forgiveness is for, he added the word which in Arabic specifies that it's referring to the females.
He said lahunna, forgiving lahunna.
To the females.
To the females. So Ibn Mas'ud is somebody who was at Muhammad's time. Muhammad said, take your Quran from Ibn Mas'ud and 3 others. So that's Muhammad's time. He added a word. That word is not in your Quran today. This word lahunna.
Yeah. And what word was it?
Lahunna. To them. Do you know Arabic?
It's on the bottom right of the screen. The Arabic's on the bottom right of the screen.
So basically, he put forgiving to them, and the them is in the feminine plural.
Yes.
So whereas now you don't know who Allah is forgiving, right? Because it says after you've compelled them, Allah is forgiving. Some people have taken that to mean forgiving to the masters,
to the human traffickers,
the ones who have compelled them to prostitution. Whereas Ibn Mas'ud, when he added the word lahunna to them, he specified the forgiveness to the girls. So now you know who's being forgiven. So in one side of things, some trafficker might think I'm forgiven for forcing this girl to be prostitute. Whereas in Ibn Mas'ud, he doesn't get that forgiveness. That's pretty big.
So because how did that? Yeah. So I guess.
Sorry.
Yeah. Because I was going to say that. Go ahead.
Because one says you can be a pimp and Allah will forgive you, and the other one says Allah will only forgive the females.
The victims.
The victims.
Okay, so I think it's quite clear, right? I mean, if you read the Quran,
it's not clear.
No. Let me finish. What I was going to say was clear in the sense we can just use logic and reasoning, right? Would God forgive someone for being a pimp?
Yeah, but so the question is, how do you validate the Quran? So you have all these different Qurans. Did Muhammad say it the way Ibn Mas'ud said it? Did Muhammad say it the way that your Quran says it? We're asking because you're saying now that you agree that there are Qurans that give different commands, there are differences here and there. We're asking you, how do you know that Muhammad said them that way?
And it's not clear because even now you got some Dawah gangs, Farid and co, and we've got clips of them arguing this, saying this tells me I can be a pimp and be forgiven. So it's not clear because some Muslims themselves are still arguing this now. And even a Muslim from Nigeria said, well, sometimes we sell our daughters into prostitution to survive, and maybe Allah will forgive us for that reason, and they justify it. So if they had that added word lahunna, only forgiveness is for the girls, they would never think that way. So you're not right. It's not just logic. People will twist it.
They're Sunni Muslims. They're arguing with Quran only Muslims, and they're trying to say based on the Quran alone, you can't get the understanding, like you said, just logical, this or that. They're saying based on the Quran alone, you get the understanding that it's actually forgiveness for everybody. The offender and the victim.
Yeah. So I guess maybe I should clarify the position. I said, like, I'm not saying that I'm a Quranist where I only use the Quran. I obviously use Hadith as well, where it helps supplement the Quran. But when it comes to relying on scholars solely and saying, oh, this scholar said this, therefore now I have to accept it.
Ramon,
scholars can get things right or wrong, for example.
Well, you're not understanding. Basically what you're saying is that they're appealing to an authority fallacy. The reason why it's not an appeal to authority fallacy is because they're actually representing the scholar's argument as their own. They're going into the text and they're showing you why the scholars say this. So it's not an appeal to authority fallacy where they're just saying X scholar says this. They're actually presenting the argument as their own. This is why you can't say, well, scholar says this, scholar says that, and you can't rely on them. Even if no scholar said it and the information was readily available as it is, and they presented it to you, then you'd still have the problem even if the scholars were not there. So you can't keep using that idea about the scholars say this, the scholars say that.
No, you're right. The only reason I was using that argument because I think you quoted a scholar before and saying, well, if he said this, then what? And I was like, well,
one of the companion students.
One of the tabi'een. You have to fall back on something though, because if you say that you take some hadiths, who gave you those hadiths? Aren't they scholars? They're scholars that grade the hadith. They say it's sahih.
So when you say a scholar said that, you're basically meaning not the scholar basically saying that, but he has evidence from the Quran and hadith to support what he's saying, obviously. So if we just go back to original source, we're just saying the problem still lies there, basically. So ignoring the scholars, right?
So when you say scholar, it's like what we're talking about, the successors of the companions. So I mean, you could call them scholars, but Muslims usually say, okay, they learned directly from the companions.
Oh, that's what you mean by scholars. I thought you meant scholars like, for example, scholars that we have today, for example.
No, not today. No.
Today's different.
But we also, not only that, but we also go to the classical scholars of Islam, the ones that came in the generations after that Muslims base their practice on. You know, big ones like Tabari, like Suyuti, you know, the Jalalain, Bukhari and Muslim. I know you say you're not Shia anymore. Muslims really hold on to these people. So we're saying is we're not getting it from ourselves. We're not interpreting the text, wake up one morning, open the Quran, say, oh, there's a problem. That's not what we're doing.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So what I'm saying to you is you have to lean back on something. You can't lean back on the Quran itself because we've shown you the Quran itself that you have today is not the one that Ibn Mas'ud recited that he said they got from Muhammad. So what are you falling back on? You got nothing. You yourself said it was sus, didn't you?
No, what I'm saying is that if we have like one version of the Quran with, like, as you showed me here clearly, you know, maybe a word was added. Again, when you're looking at some of the key beliefs as part of our religion, they're all the same, right? Irrespective of which Araf you're using.
It depends. It depends. So hold on. So we have to. This is like we have to get to a more foundational question now. So you are basing your beliefs off of not usually you don't go by scholars. You don't even mind rejecting some hadith. So usually Muslims at least.
So the hadith I would reject essentially would be the ones that are clear cut in violation of the Quran, for example.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't necessarily care about whether the scholars grade them as authentic or not. You don't care about that.
You just go by your
authentication. But even if if the scholars authenticate a hadith to be sahih, but that hadith is going against the clear teaching of the Quran, then I would reject it.
Which Quran?
Which
Quran though?
There's one Quran, but as you mentioned here, right, that you have different wordings. But if you show me a hadith, that same hadith, if it contradicts one Quran, it will most likely contradict all of them.
Well, the Quran says Allah will preserve His word. Allah will preserve the Quran, didn't He?
Yes.
So where can we find that?
So it depends on how you interpret preserve now, right?
Oh, great. So now how you interpret, so you're on shifting sands. So what is preservation to you? Some Muslims say word for word, letter for letter.
No. I don't think it's word for word, letter for letter. Because to be honest, like as you mentioned, right, I think you showed it before I was on for that bit, where you know you don't have the dots, right? So then, you know, we added the dots to make it easy for us to understand. So, you know, I'm not saying it's word for word, letter for letter. I guess I know what most Muslims do say that, but I don't.
Okay. So we just want to know how do you know that the Quran you're reciting today goes back to Muhammad? How do you know that?
Yeah, where's your evidence for that?
Well, the primary evidence is the fact that everyone at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, they memorized it, right? It was done mostly orally.
But we showed you that they memorized different Qurans. Like the Quran of Ibn Mas'ud, how he recited it is different than how Uthman recited it or how Zayd recited it.
And it's different to what you have today. So how do you know what you have now?
If you give me an example of a time where they might have recited it differently, but different recitation doesn't mean it's a different book. For example, if I'm living in the UK and if I'm living in Scotland, they'll have a different recitation, different way they recite things.
No, you saw there's a word. You saw that there's a word difference.
Yeah,
you saw that.
Like someone in Scotland will still say to them in a sentence, and I say to them in a sentence. It's not deleted like what the example we showed you. There was a whole word missing. Right. So it's not what you say is not what you say is not true, and you know it. It's
okay,
not
so
true.
if we're talking about recitation in the way we pronounce the words, you're basically saying the words entirely are missing. Okay. If there's one word here or there, that doesn't really bother me. You know where I'm coming from. So let's assume, you know, if there is a word missing or a letter.
Yeah. So this hadith here with Omar and Hisham, do you agree that? So do you agree that the Quran was revealed in 7 ahruf?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
Okay. So this was also confusing for the companions. You agree with that, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it must have been very confusing for them.
So the companions, those companions, they were in the same place, Quraysh.
Yes.
They're from the same tribe.
From the same, the Quraysh tribe. Omar ibn
Khattab, the companions can be from different tribes, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm asking you.
These two are from the same tribe.
I'm asking you, do you know who these two come from? Omar and Hisham. Do you know where they two come from?
Omar ibn Khattab, of course, I know, I've heard of him.
Okay,
not the other one.
Okay, Omar ibn Khattab, where does he come from?
The Quraysh.
Quraysh, thank you, but excellent. And where does Hisham ibn Hakim come from?
I'm not sure.
He's from Quraysh.
Same tribe.
Same tribe.
So they spoke the same dialect, but they recited this chapter differently to where Omar jumped on him, was about to kill him.
Yeah, it wasn't just Scotland and England. He was reciting the surah. Omar wanted to kill him while he was in prayer. Dragged him by the neck to Muhammad, said, recite now to Muhammad what you just told me. So it wasn't just Scotland and England, was it?
Yeah, okay, no, fair enough. It was a bit more than just that, but
right. So how is the Quran? So how is the Quran preserved? They were same time, same tribe, same age. Muhammad was living among them. So how is the Quran preserved? And how did they, like you say, memorize all of it the same?
Well, here it doesn't really say what. They didn't explicitly say how different the two.
Well, it was
different. That was being said. It doesn't say it. Right?
It was different enough that they wanted to kill each other over it.
Yeah, and
look, you have to remember, like 1400 years ago, they were quite barbaric, right? And
so thank you very much.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Like 1400 years ago, even though before the Prophet came into the picture, you know, everyone was barbaric. They were killing each other left, right, and center.
Muslims at this point. They're Muslims.
So they're meant to be different.
Yeah, but you do realize just because somebody says you become Muslim, that it's basically like they switch sides the next day, or they become no, their belief change. But that's a transition that will happen over time, right? Not just I'm Muslim now. I'm going to completely change my attitude toward everything.
Let me tell you, they were just as barbaric after Muhammad died. They almost killed each other, but.
Trust me, if you look at what happened to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, 34 years after he passed away, that will just show you how barbaric the Ummah still was, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. So the Shia don't have any problem throwing the companions under the bus, but he's not Shia anymore. So it's interesting.
So we just refuted your previous point that they all memorized it all the same.
Because I asked you, okay, how do you know that the Quran you have right now is the one that Muhammad memorized? You said, well, the companions. Well, now we're going to the companions and we're showing you that they had different Qurans that they wanted to kill each other over.
Yeah, and they couldn't kill each other.
But you can't say that. But you can't use you can't use the action of them wanting to kill themselves, kill each other over as you know what, that means they're very different. If they, for example, before Hazrat Umar became Muslim, I'm not sure if you heard of it, but obviously he attacked his sister, right? Because she became Muslim before him, and she was reciting the Quran. But obviously, I'm not going to say that and say he's a bad man. He's a great companion. But
we're getting at the fact that they had different Qurans. So your answer to my question when I asked you, how do you know the Quran you have today is what Muhammad recited? You said the companions, and so now we're showing you the companions have different Qurans that they want to fight over.
Yeah.
So you're getting hung up over the fighting part. We're talking about the fact that
but back then it showed us, right? They have, if you want to call it that, I'll use it just to make things simple. 2 different versions of the Quran, but we still have those 2 Arafs today because there's 7 in existence, right? So why is that?
Where are they? Where are they?
Yeah, where is that 7?
Where are the 7?
Where are the 7?
Because
we've got the 7 Arafs, right?
How many readings of the Quran do you accept?
The 7 of Qira'at. Maybe I'm getting myself confused.
Yeah, so that's the confusion that a lot of Muslims have. So there's this hadith is about 7 ahruf. Muslim scholars, Sunni Muslim scholars have no idea what ahruf means. Okay, the Shia, they say that this is a false hadith, false tradition. There's only 1 of the ahruf, not 7. Okay, but there's 7 readings qira'at. Later on, there were 10. Okay, that they were added on. 3 were added on later on. So how many do you accept? How many do you accept?
I haven't really looked into this that deeply, to be honest, right? To be honest, I still think I'm getting confused between Araf and Qira'at, to be honest, right?
You're not the only one, my friend.
Yeah,
we all are. And all your scholars, the scholars that you don't accept, they all are confused.
Yeah.
So if for example, to just going down the other road, if somebody was to believe that there was only 1 Araf, and they reject this hadith of saying there are 7, what road did that lead us down?
Well, it's a good question, because now you have to ask the question. We do have different Qurans today, so how can they only come from 1 ahruf, like 1 of the ahruf? How can that be?
Yeah, that's another question.
So then you have to go back to the 7 then.
Exactly. So you see our dilemma. You said so far it looks sus, that they are barbaric, and we're confused with the ahruf and qira'at. We agree with you on all 3 points.
Yeah, but again, when I say barbaric, that's normal. That doesn't mean they're bad people, right?
Well, did the disciples of Christ, they were 700 years before them, did they do that to each other?
I don't know. I haven't really read much about their lives, right? I don't know.
Let me tell you, no, they did not.
Yeah, they weren't killing each other.
I guess they just betrayed Prophet Isa instead, right?
No, they didn't betray him. They didn't betray him. No, they didn't. So, and they didn't kill each other.
Judas didn't betray Prophet Isa.
Yeah, okay, we're talking about the disciples, the trusted companions of Muhammad killing each other, that you Muslims entrusting the Quran in their hands. Okay.
Okay, so which Muslim companion killed each other? Which Muslim companion killed each other?
Okay, I mean,
well,
pick any battle.
You said Ali wasn't Ali brutally killed with his family? Was he killed by Muslims or non-Muslims?
And what about Uthman?
You're talking about Imam Hassan?
No, I remember Ali. Was he killed by Muslims or non-Muslims?
He was killed by Muawiyah. Muawiyah, right?
Was Muawiyah Muslim or non-Muslim?
I can't say someone's a Muslim or not, but what I can say that he was a horrible person.
He was, yeah. I know he was horrible, but he was also Muslim. He said La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, didn't he?
You can still have horrible people who are Muslim. I'm not saying.
And Uthman.
For example, look at today. Look at Saudi Arabia, right? I mean, they're standing by while there's a genocide taking place, and I wouldn't say that the government of Saudi are Muslim.
But Muslims say, you say you're Sunni now? Muslims say that the first generation is the best generation.
No, I don't say that.
Okay. Just for people listening, Uthman was killed by Muslims. Uthman was the third caliph, killed by Muslims. Ali was the fourth caliph, killed by Muslims. Umar was the second caliph, killed by who? A Muslim.
Yeah, but I'm not agreeing that they had ikhtilaf. But the thing is,
we're not talking about differences. We're saying they kill each other.
I'm differing with you right now, but I don't want to kill you.
Right.
So I'm better than that first generation of Muslims right now.
So you're entrusting your eternal salvation on the companions who you agree had differences and wanted to kill each other, that the Quran that they compiled, or one of them compiled. Why we're asking you, this is the core question. Why do you trust that the Quran you have is the one that Muhammad recited? Why?
Okay. There are loads of other miracles in the Quran if you take the preservation aside, just for devil's advocate's sake, right?
What's Quran?
Okay, any Quran that you want. Let's assume. Let's go down the road. Let's assume there are 10 Qurans.
Any Quran, and I can make a Quran right now that's consistent with the Uthmanic script. I can put in dip. We showed it earlier.
Yeah.
Because there's a one miracle in Surah Baqarah, in which the entire surah, which is the longest surah in the Quran, which essentially has concentric patterns from the very beginning all the way to the very end.
What do you mean?
Somebody. Meaning in the sense that the first 5 ayahs talk about a certain topic, and the last 5 ayahs talk about that same topic.
Wait. So the numbering of the ayahs differ depending on which Quran you're reading.
That's what I'm saying. So okay. So which for Surah Baqarah,
if you're basing your miracle on verses 1 through 5, well, that's different depending on which Quran. Some Quran.
Okay, so give me one example, and give me from your paradigm 2 Qurans which have different number of ayahs for Surah Baqarah.
Okay, so let me put it on the screen here. So we'll just go to chapter 1.
So that messes up your concentric whatever, because the verses are different numbers.
Yeah, I'll show you.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll show you. I'm gonna just pull up on the screen here, and you'll be able to see for yourself. So chapter 2, verse. Watch this. I'm going to show my screen. Check it out. All right. Okay. So you can read Arabic, right?
Not very well.
Okay. Well, you can identify.
Help you
this.
I can read this bit. Yeah.
Okay. So this is chapter 2. This is in Hafs, your Quran that you have. This is chapter 2, verse 2, right?
Can you see that? It says number 2 in English here even.
Yeah. Okay. It says number 2. Yeah. So Surah Baqarah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, what's verse number 1? It's Alif Lam Mim, right?
Right.
You agree?
Do you know that?
You have your Quran with you?
Yeah, I think it should be. I think I remember that. Yeah.
Now, if you go to other versions, this is actually not verse 2, it's verse 1, because they include Alif Lam Mim as a part of this verse. So your numbering is different now. So this is the Qalun. Let's do a count. You said you wanted to see. So Warsh says this is verse 2. Qalun says it's verse 1. Yeah. Warsh said, wait, did I say Hafs? I meant to say Hafs. This is verse 2. Qalun, this is verse 1. Warsh, this is verse 1. Okay, you see all these are verse 1, verse 1, verse 1. So your numbering system is different depending. Now in this one,
it's number 2.
It's number 2. It depends on which Quran you're reading. Okay.
Yeah. So how many? So
So that messes up
On
your
all these different ones that you have here, what are the total number of ayahs for Surah Baqarah?
Yeah, so if you're doing mathematical like miracles or whatever, so let's go to the very bottom verse and we'll show you what is it in the other verses.
So your concentric theory just messed up completely, depending on which Quran you're using.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't, because let me finish. Even if there's one ayah which is off, right?
Yeah.
The concentric patterns can still work. It doesn't mean it's completely thrown off.
Actually, you actually take yourself seriously when you say these things. No, I'm not asking you to be facetious. Do you actually take yourself seriously when you say concentric whatever this pattern of numbers is a miracle? Do you see that as an actual miracle? Like if I was to heal someone or to raise someone from the dead, this is equal to it.
I didn't say it's equal. They're just different miracles, right? For
That's
someone
not a
to
miracle.
cut,
Do you actually take
for
yourself seriously when you say this is a miracle?
Of course.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
So look, the last verse in Al-Baqarah, according to Hafs, is 286. This is 286. But go to other versions of the Quran, it's 285. So your whole numbering is messed up by one.
No, because the concentric pattern still holds for the 285 ayahs, doesn't it?
So one is missed. So the miracle stops at the one that's missed.
No, I'm saying they're the other ones which have 286. The miracle holds for them, doesn't it?
So it holds for some but not others. That's your miracle?
It holds for one but not the other 6.
Okay.
And that's one miracle out of like 30, 40.
So again, it holds for one but not the others. So again, do you hear yourself and do you take yourself seriously saying these things?
Because what you're saying now is that you can determine what the Quran is based on some numeric miracle that you came up with or you heard from someone else. That's not the same thing as saying what Muslims normally say, which, I have a chain that goes back to this person to Muhammad. Now you're just saying, well, I get to decide based on this numerical miracle. Well, who are you? How do you get to decide that? Where does the Quran say the Quran is only the Quran if it works in these numerical ways?
Where did Muhammad say, look at these concentric patterns, aren't they great? To show the disbelievers at the time. I didn't remember him saying that.
These are things that we'll figure out over time. And we are figuring these things out over time. For example, think about what's the middle chapter of the Quran called?
It's tough.
Again, if it was such
it's called iron.
One second.
And it's called iron, right?
Ramon,
and what's the center of the earth? Iron. Now you might think, this is probably a coincidence, right?
This is ridiculous.
It's a coincidence, right? Okay, another one.
Wait. Ibn Masud, and this is confirmed in the Sana manuscript that we have. Ibn Masud as well as the Sana manuscript that we have, they differ in the chapter divisions. So there's different companions did the different numbered.
No worries. I'll give you another one. I'll give you another one. Okay. No worries.
No. What I'm saying is everything that you're saying is getting shot down. You're saying okay.
I'll give you another one. The ratio of water to land on Earth is exactly the same as the number of times water to land is mentioned in the Quran.
Ramon, this is tough, man.
What I'm trying to get at is fair enough. I've shown you two. I've shown you a third one.
You haven't shown anything. Everything you've shown has gotten refuted.
Yeah.
Okay, refute this one then, right? Refute this one as well then, right?
No, Ramon, slow down, dude. Mursal, are you there? Mursal Salim. Mursal Salim, you're on the stage. Are you there? Going once, going twice. All right, gonna go ahead and remove you.
So like I was saying, the third one.
Ramon, I'll give you the green light when to speak. Drake, are you there?
Don't tell me he's gonna play the Quran.
Hello.
Hello, are you a Muslim?
Yeah, hello.
You a Muslim?
Yeah, I am.
You're a Muslim. Have you been listening to the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, I've been listening, and from what you guys have been talking, I don't think you guys understand what you guys did.
Okay.
So
you're here to teach us?
Yeah, can you explain to us where we got wrong?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not here to teach you guys. I'm just here to explain what your research means, right? I'm not a teacher. I'm not an Islamic scholar, right?
So,
but you know that we're
just
mistaken, though.
How, if you're not a scholar, how you know we're wrong?
Right?
How do you know we are wrong? How do you know we are
Based
wrong?
on what you presented, based on what you just presented.
Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead. What are we wrong about?
Yeah, I think you guys don't get the point, the whole point. So first of all, like, so the difference in the Quran variants or the Aruf, from your understanding, what I know is there are contradictions that misunderstand the nature and purpose of this variation. Let me clarify why these differences do not constitute a contradiction, but instead they enhance the text.
Here we go with contradiction.
Here we go
with contradiction again.
Did we say anything about contradiction this time?
Okay, do you want us to show you a contradiction? Because we can show you a contradiction. What we're talking about now is, by the way,
what I'm saying, they are not contradicting.
When we talk about
what you are saying,
hold on, Drake,
let me speak.
Drake, wait,
I don't know, like I listened to you the whole time, but
you're gonna have to listen a little bit. You're gonna have to listen a little bit more because what you said was wrong, and I just have to correct this. When we say about ahruf, we are quoting your scholars. We're not. You said we're wrong about it. You can say your scholars are wrong about it. We're just quoting what your scholars say. They say they have no idea what it means. Okay, that's your scholars. Okay, but what they do say is that they cannot differ in commandments. And then we show you Qur'ans that do differ in commandments, and you're claiming that these are the ahruf. How can that be if they don't differ in commandments? It's impossible. You can't say that ahruf don't differ in commandments, and that the Qur'ans we have today come from the ahruf, and then the Qur'ans we have today differ in commandments. It doesn't work.
Do you understand what we're saying? I don't know if I forgot his name.
Drake.
Can
I speak?
Yeah, can you interact with what we're saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So the Aruf are just different style of writing, and the Qur'an are sound, different ways of reciting it. So
where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, who told you that?
From the explanation of what you gave.
That's not what we said.
I just told you now.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, but Drake, I just told you now that your scholars don't
know.
Do you
know the Aruf? Like, what's the meaning of the Aruf?
No one knows. That's the point.
I think we're having a language barrier here.
You the meaning. That's
Drake,
what I'm telling you.
Drake.
You don't know. I'm telling you.
I think we're having a language barrier here because I said it like 3 times, and I'll say it one more time. Nobody knows, according to Muslim scholars, what ahruf means. Is that clear? Nobody knows what it means.
And that's false. That's clearly false.
Oh, that's false. Okay, so let me show you what your scholars say.
Show him what.
He's not going to understand.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you understand? Can you, if we play Yasser? Oh, he left. Yeah, because Yasser Qadi, I think he speaks too advanced.
I think there's a language barrier. I think he meant qira'at instead of ahruf.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, we have another Muhammad. Okay, Muhammad, welcome.
Hi guys, you okay?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. So, did you get to hear the presentation, or at least part of it? Did you have something you want to respond to?
Yeah, bits of it. I haven't heard the entire presentation. Just a couple of, well, I haven't got much time. Just a couple of points I'd like to mention. You guys picked up a slide, something about washing your feet and wiping your feet.
Yes.
And you said these are different commands or contradiction. If you guys used that word earlier, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we didn't say the contradictions. We're saying that they're giving 2 separate commands.
Okay. I mean, personally, I don't know too much about ahruf, but what I do know is that in Islam, when it comes to doing wudu, to pray, salah, pray 5 times a day, as Muslims, we do wash our feet.
Yeah, however, some of you do. Yeah, some Muslims do, Muhammad. Others, only wipe. Did you know that?
Well, yeah, that's the point I was going to make to you, is that if there is no water, then you are allowed to perform ablution, wudu, using sand. And
but that's a different verse. That's a different verse. The tayammum verse is a different verse. No, but the verse about wudu, when the water is plentiful, says to wipe in one Quran. It's not the tayammum verse. That's the one that for everyone when water is there. So the point that you're making is different.
Well,
You
it's
see what
not
I'm
different. It's
saying?
in the sense that you can actually use both. Both are applicable. You can wash and you can also
No,
wipe.
when you don't have water, you just use dust. Then the wiping and the washing don't apply. This is when you have water. That's my point.
Yeah, but if you haven't got water, you can wipe. So
Yeah,
the
but
point I'm
so this
making is that,
verse isn't about if you don't have water. This is about if you have the water.
Yeah, because
can
you
you
wipe
bring it
with
up?
water. You wipe with water. In the verse, it says to wipe with water. Like, you know how you wipe your hair? You know, in the wudu, when you wipe your hair?
Can you bring the verse?
You wipe
I
with
didn't
water.
see it.
Yeah, you wipe with water your hair.
I hear what you're saying. Could you bring the
So
verse
the
up? 'Cause
verse
I didn't
is
see the
talking
verse.
about when you're wiping your hair with water, you also wipe your feet. Whereas the tayammum verse, when you have no water, you just use the earth to pat everything. That's different.
Okay, so what's
So
the
what
distinction?
you're trying to apply one to the other, which
No,
it
I'm saying both
doesn't
are
work.
applicable in
It's
the
not
grand scheme
applicable.
of
No, it's not applicable.
You either do
what's
one or the
the
other.
Yeah, you
verse.
do one or the other. When you have
Well, that's
water,
true.
when you
If you have water, you wash. If
no
you
no
haven't got
no,
water, you wipe.
you have Muslims around the world today. They have plenty of water and they only wipe because they have a different Quran that tells
Well,
them
we
to wipe.
don't. I don't know that.
Yeah,
We
we
don't
don't know that,
that.
but we know that. We know that.
Yeah,
We're telling
the
you.
Shia.
The
There's a
Quran's
guy.
in the
There's a guy in
Quran.
here. The guy before you, he's a Shia,
Well, I
and
don't
he
know who he
said,
is.
yeah. Well,
I
he
don't know who
said
he
that
is.
he was born into a Shia family, and that's their tradition. That's their practice.
Yeah, go back when you once you finish talking to us. Go back to the stream and listen to him saying that's true, you guys.
That's what the Shia
It is
do.
different.
Yeah, but I don't know who he is. How
Yeah, but if you
fallible
don't
he
know,
is,
you
and what
have
he's
to let
saying.
people
So
tell
that,
you. If you don't know who he is, you have to let people tell
well, I
you.
don't need to
We're
do
telling
that. If
you.
I have
We're
the
telling
Quran,
you.
if I have the Quran, I have the Hadith. Why do I need to listen
Which
to
Quran?
XYZ?
That's the point. Which Quran do you have? Because there's a different Quran that says something else. That's the point. The Quran that you
It's
have
not.
as Hafs, the Quran that you have as Hafs tells you to wash your feet. What the other Quran, the Bazzi Quran from Ibn Kathir, it tells you to wipe your feet, and it's got nothing to do with how much water there is, because it's the same verse.
It's not about water or what water there is. It's the
Well,
fact that you can
that's
wipe.
what you
It's
said. That's what you
applicable.
came in
It's
saying.
not what I said. I said you can do either. You can either wash or you can wipe. You're saying no. It has to be one or the other.
Well, that's not
Well,
what
I
your scholars.
mean,
That's not what your
This
scholars.
is the point I'm making here.
I mean,
You can do
Muhammad,
either.
which do you do though?
Well, because I at the moment have access to water, I can do that. But if
So
I
No, it
then,
doesn't
don't
have
have
any.
water,
it's
It
not which
doesn't have anything
water.
to do. Yeah, with water,
It's
so
bro.
not
if I
about
don't
water.
have access to water, then I can
No.
wipe
Yeah.
my feet
So
with
Muhammad, you're
sand,
adding
for
in
example.
context that's not there. This is not. This doesn't say if you have water, do this. If you don't have water, do that. It doesn't say that. This
No,
is
but it's
saying
one or
in
the
the
other, isn't
same
it?
exact
Because in one verse,
circumstance and the
you
same
say wash,
context. Yes, the same context
and
is
in the
saying
other one, it
both
says
things.
wipe your feet.
No, it's in the
So
same
my point, mate.
verse. Surah 5 verse 6. Surah 5 verse 6
Yeah,
in one
but
Quran.
you got
It's
two
the same
you brought two
verse.
translations up, didn't you? One that says
Jai and
wash and one
DLC.
that says wipe.
In both of those Qurans, I think it's the Hafs and the other is what, Warsh?
No,
No,
no.
it's Bazzi.
Yeah, Al-Bazi.
Okay, so in
But
both
actually,
of those,
about half of them read both ways. So
Yeah,
half the
guys, just to
Qurans
let you
read
know,
one way,
personally,
half the Qurans read the other way.
Muhammad, just wait 1 second. In both of those different Qurans, does the beginning start the same? Because I think it says wash
It
your
does.
hands,
It
right?
does.
Everything's identical except for this
Except
one little
okay,
dash.
exactly. Okay,
It's
so
not a different verse. It's not.
oh,
He's confusing it with a different verse in the Quran that says if you don't have water, use the
right.
soil or the dust.
It's not the
That's
verse.
not
you
that.
guys
What
already
we're not
brought one
talking
Well,
about.
verse up, didn't you?
the point I was trying to make, okay, Muhammad, just wait 1 second. You're saying if they don't have water, but the verse itself implies that in both of those different Qurans, they do have water because they're washing their hands. They're washing their elbows and stuff like that first, except in one of them, it just says, don't wash your feet. What does it say? Don't, it says wipe
What?
your feet. And
Yeah.
the other
So
says wash. So both Qurans, there's water available from the context. So now we're asking you, which do you do? Do you wipe or do you wash?
Okay, again, I think there's a slight probably
See,
understanding
this
here.
is
I'll
NPC
explain it
mode,
to you.
man. Y'all just this is
I'll
crazy.
explain it to you. Shall I explain it to you? Do you want to listen?
Yeah. If you don't talk to me about lack of water, because I'm gonna lose it. Because it's nothing about lack of water in that verse. That's a different verse. This is Surah 5
Okay.
verse 6. You can look it up in your Quran right now. It says nothing
Don't
about
worry,
lack of water. Don't tell me about no lack of water, okay?
Hold on. Don't worry
yeah,
about it. I'm listening. Don't worry, I'm here.
Because
Oh,
I feel like I'm talking to the
Oh,
because I feel like I'm talking to the wall.
I
My
thought that was
brother,
Black Doctor on the stream. Hold
honestly.
on, hold on, hold on. I was like, hold on a second.
okay, can I speak now?
Yeah, don't talk to me about no lack of water, okay?
Okay, there's abundant water, plenty of water. Okay.
Okay, thank you. When there's
Sometimes when
plenty
it
of
comes,
water, do you wash
am I
or do you
speaking
wipe?
or what? God logic, can you at least,
I just hope you can answer the question, bro.
Yeah, do you wash or do you wipe? And don't tell me to do either.
Honestly, it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. What matters is that they are committing two different things. That's the point. So one says to wash, one says to wipe.
Let me say something, then you can comment, okay? In wudu, there are different ways to do wudu. See, sometimes when you already done ablution early in the day and you come back to do ablution again, there are certain times, if you wear a certain leather socks, you don't actually have to take them off to wash your feet. You wipe over the top of the sock.
This is crazy,
water.
bro. That's the exact face I'm giving right now, bro. This is like National Geographic, bro. Like this is crazy. Like, bro, this is very simple, man.
It's too much
like
for the Muslims,
like one says one thing, the other says the other, and we're asking you, Muhammad, stop, bro.
I'm just answering.
Muhammad, they said earlier to the other Muslims, they don't want a khutbah, we don't want a sermon, we don't want a speech. Two of them clearly say different things, bro. And then when we ask you the exact same question, well, which do you do? For some reason now, you just don't know what you do. So I'm asking for the fifth time, bro. Do you wash or do you wipe?
Okay, Muhammad, in the verse, it says when you've gone to the toilet or when you touch women. That means it's not that you've done wudu for earlier in the day and you have a leather thing on. The verse is very clear. You've gone to do poo-poo or you've touched your woman. You have to start from scratch. The verse says in one Quran you wipe, and the other Quran it says you wash. There's no way out.
Can you bring up the verse?
Thank you. Look, Surah 5 verse 6. Open up your Quran.
Yeah, go ahead. 5 verse 6. You can read it for us.
I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get some dessert.
And by the way, the poop thing is a real thing. It's in the verse. For people who are laughing.
It's really there. It's
it really is there in that verse, Surah 5 verse 6. When you open your bowels, do number 2. Then you have to start from scratch. Wash your hands, your face, and your arms. And one verse in the one Quran says wash your feet, and the same verse in the other Quran says wipe your feet. The Shia wipe. You guys, the Sunnah wash.
You can do both.
Who says you can do both? Who says you? Who gave you the authority?
The prophet has given that authority.
Okay, can you show me where the prophet said that?
Where?
The prophet said you can wash or wipe. Can you show me that?
You guys are the experts here. You should.
No, I'm not a Muslim.
No. You made the claim that the prophet said you can do both. Where? Can you show us this?
So you tell me you guys haven't read in the Hadith where it says that if there's no water, then you can.
No, we're not talking about no water.
It's not. He's doing this no water thing again.
It's plenty of water.
Yeah. So basically, his argument is that you wash when you have water, you wipe when there's no water. But like Amin pointed out, that both versions start out by saying wash your faces and your forearms to the elbows. Both versions say wash. So there's water for you to wash your faces and your forearms to the elbows. Then wipe over your heads, and then some say wash your feet to the ankles, and the other one says wipe your feet to the ankles. So washing is there in both verses. So if the claim is that you don't wash when you don't have water, well, this doesn't apply because both of them say wash in different places. So you have water.
The one that says no water is in Surah 4 verse 43. It's an entirely different verse, entirely different surah.
Yeah, it says
it's mixing the two. It's Surah 4 verse 43. And in that one, there's no wiping or washing. It just says do tayammum. It doesn't even tell you what that tayammum is. You have to go to different sources to say you have to pat the dust and all that nonsense. And wipe your arms and feet with dust. There's no water involved. There's no water involved in it at all. It's called tayammum if you guys want to know what it is.
Yeah, the ayah is very clear. I think it says faghsilu or something like that.
Yeah, faghsilu, faghsilu is to do with wash. Exactly. So you can't wash if you have no water. Exactly. So he's applying a different verse to try and explain this one.
So the Muslims who are going to come up and try to say that they both mean the same thing, the easiest way, this is just from what I've observed so far, is just to ask them which one do they do? Because if they're going to say that they do both, then that means that you're saying both Qur'ans that say different things are correct, which means that you don't have one Qur'an. But if they say that they wash, then they're saying that the other is wrong and that there actually are different commands. So there's no way out of this, bro. It's game over.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that the only honest person that I heard is Shia. The Shia is the one who said, you know what, they're both different.
They normally like that.
Yeah,
Actually,
Sunnis have to do, as an Sunnis, you have to do better. You can't have the Shias be more honest than you. If any Sunnis are listening, because this is terrible.
They all listening, man. I got 15 listening. All right, so we got somebody named Casper here. Let's see if Casper can deal with the arguments here. Casper, welcome. Casper, welcome to the platform.
My man got a fancy thing over his E, Casper. Yeah, he fancy with it, bro. It's not even just Casper.
Casper. All right, he ain't here. You guys want to try again with the African brother?
It's no fault to him. I think there's just a language barrier. But I mean, we could try. I mean, I'll try.
All right, Drake, about to bring you back up, my friend.
Oh yeah, he's got the brick wall. Yeah, that's
what we're talking.
That's what we're talking to. That's what we're talking to, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're talking to. We're talking to the wall.
Oh no.
Muslims incarnate.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Islam incarnate.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wait, so Al, are we the brick wall or are you the brick wall?
You go.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you. Are you behind the wall?
Oh yeah, he wants us to show chapter 10, verse 16.
Okay.
He's behind the Hagab,
Okay, so,
like a wall on the line.
So
Go ahead.
I said earlier, I was listening to your explanation, and you said the Aruf, you guys, it doesn't mean anything. Nobody understands it.
Correct.
And that's what I'm trying to. Yeah. So if you had done your research very well, those are the different variation, the writing, the different style of writing. So from
where did you learn that from, my friends?
View,
where did you learn that from? That it's different styles of writing.
Yeah, who says that, Drake? Besides you?
First of all, I learned it from what you presented, and then a simple Google will do you a favor. That Aruf is just a different.
So we have your scholars. We have your scholars saying that they don't know what it means. We have Abdulaziz Al-Qari, Muhammad Ashankiti, Yasser Qadi. We have all your scholars. I mean, these are some of the ones that we talked about so far. They're all saying they have no idea what ahruf means. Islam Q&A says there's almost 40. Let me talk a little slower. Islam Q&A says that there's almost 40 different opinions for what ahruf means. They're saying that they have no idea what ahruf means. So we're not misrepresenting your scholars. That's what they say. We're not making fun and saying, this is, you guys don't know. No, your scholars say they don't know.
Yeah, they really don't know, Drake. They really don't.
That's false. That's why I told you. You just Googling a simple Google do you a favor.
Google.
That's what I'm saying.
Google.
A simple Google do you a favor.
You don't think we
you don't.
We Googled it.
Mr. Drake, can you if I play this audio, can you hear this?
What I think is that
I want to show you a scholar. I want to show you a scholar. I want to show you what one of your scholars says. Avery's back. Okay, watch this. I just want to put him on the screen here, and we're going to show.
Yeah,
this is the wrong one. Sorry, man.
Yeah, we got this from Google.
My bad. That's the wrong one.
I want to ask, why don't you guys let people speak? Why don't you guys let people speak?
We can't hear you because you're behind a brick wall, bro. That's why we're just talking because we can't hear you.
Yeah,
come out from behind the wall.
I can hear you. I can see you guys too. I can only see God logic.
I'll just leave it. Okay.
So what I say, you're hiding behind a dark something. So I can see God logic. I can see you too. So what do you mean?
Okay. So can you hear this? Can you understand Yasser Qadi when he speaks? I want to play this to you, okay? Can you hear this?
What is the ahruf and what is the relationship of
Can you hear that, Mr. Drake?
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear.
Let's listen to your scholar. Listen to your scholar. It's not us. Listen to your scholar.
What is the ahruf and what is the relationship of the qira'at with the ahruf? Yes. Now, this is one of the most complicated and dense questions that ulama have written about. As-Suyuti lists 40 opinions in Al-Itqan, right? Ash-Shawkani also lists them. The teacher of our teachers, Sheikh Shanqiti, the one who wrote Adwa al-Bayan, right? He was asked, what is your opinion about the ahruf? And he said, my opinion about the ahruf is that I don't have an opinion. This is a Shanqiti. He's so confused.
Did we make that up, or is that what your scholars say?
Okay, so from what you just played, or from what the video just played, you are just reacting to somebody who was asked who doesn't have an opinion on it. It doesn't mean that nobody knows the meaning.
No, it's not him that didn't have the opinion.
So we just play a video. When the scholar just let me listen. When you were playing, I didn't speak. Why?
Yeah, because you were meant to be listening. It's not him. He said the Shanqiti is the one.
I listened to what he said. I listened.
Okay.
Yes.
I listened to what you say, and I'm trying to also put in my opinion. So why are you interrupting me?
Because you're not listening.
From the video. Yeah,
so
you're
sorry.
also not listening. So that's why I'm saying, like,
I just want to be sure because I don't understand you. Are you saying Yasir Qadi is wrong?
What the video say.
So is the Yasir Qadi wrong or is Shanqiti wrong? Is Yasir Qadi wrong?
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just interpreting what he said. He said another scholar was asked, and he said he doesn't have opinion on it. That doesn't mean nobody knows the meaning.
He said he was confused. Now he also said, "Look at. Can you see the screen here? This is Islam Q&A, Islam question and answer. The scholars mentioned nearly 40 opinions concerning this matter! Exclamation! Perhaps the most correct is what we've mentioned above, and Allah knows best. 40 opinions. They don't know.
Yeah, they said perhaps. Perhaps this is what
they don't know.
Is correct, but they don't know.
So within those opinions, those 40 opinions, that somebody say doesn't know within the 40 opinions.
So if you know, how can you
just bring me one of the 40 opinions and tell me somebody say doesn't know the meaning?
So how can you have 40 opinion and still know what it is? It surely should be one opinion.
So that's why I said from what you guys have presented it, I just wanted also explain what I also understand what you guys did. So you guys are not doing justice to what you are presenting. So you just be like, oh, you just put it a video, somebody say, oh, this person doesn't have an opinion. It means that nobody understands the meaning.
Yes, he's saying that the teacher of the scholar of your look, you said when you came in that you're not a teacher. These are your teachers of your teachers. Ash-Shanqiti is the teacher of your teachers, okay? He's not nobody. He's a big scholar. And for him to say, I have no opinion on it, and then Yasir Qadi says that he's so confused about it. Your scholars are confused about it. They don't know what it means. I don't know how else I can say it to you. They don't know.
Yeah, it seems your scholar don't. I'm not sure,
my question,
you're sure, but
my question is, having no opinion on something doesn't mean that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a meaning.
Do you know? Okay. Do you know what it means then?
Yeah, tell us what it means.
Do you know what it means?
I just told you that aruf means different variation, different types of writing.
Where are you getting this from?
It's a style of writing. That's what I told you.
Yeah, where are you getting this from?
Yeah, you're getting it from Google?
Because your scholars are saying that they're confused.
I just told you. Just a simple Google will show you the meaning of it. I just told you.
Okay, I did a simple Google search. It says no. It says it's 40 opinions. So how do I know which one to pick?
How do we know that to trust you when your scholars are confused? Are you less confused than your scholars?
So, from what I'm saying, there's no confusion here. What you presented is the confusion.
Yeah,
so
Yasir Qadi is one who
said that he has an opinion on this topic. So it means that it doesn't have a meaning. That's what you're saying. And
but which meaning? Which meaning out of the 40?
Right?
Drake, since you know, which meaning of the 40? What number is it?
I mean, this guy, he wants to go by Google rather than
if you can give me all the 40 different, I can give you one of them. You can just
how do we know to trust you though? How do we know to trust you that you're the right one out of the 40, you know?
So that's why I'm saying that somebody's opinion, you cannot be like somebody say he doesn't have an opinion, so it's not
all of your
correct.
scholars are
and that's what I said from your video, from what you presented. I just wanted to explain what I got from it, but just wouldn't let me speak. So,
yeah, but they said they're confused though, Drake. You're so sure and you're so like
you just Googled it.
He said they have different opinions. It doesn't mean they are confused.
No, but
he said no. He said
different
no. You weren't listening.
Yeah, he said confused. It wasn't us.
Yeah, Yasser Qadhi is the one who said confused. We didn't say confused. He said confused.
Yeah, at the end he said so
So
confused.
first of all, I want to know, like, can you play the next sentence that he said after that?
Yeah, but we have it.
Yeah.
We have it.
No, you just cut out something.
This isn't gonna help
He's
you
trying
out.
to give you a counter statement. You know what a scholar says he doesn't have no. You know,
Yeah, we have
just
it.
cut out something to put a point, so you can just play all thing and let me see what.
But why did he say?
Next.
Why did he say confused then? No, listen, Drake. Why did he say confused?
No, he said
he didn't mean it.
He said one scholar was asked, and he said he doesn't have opinion on it.
Because he's confused.
Because that doesn't mean like he's confused.
Okay,
Play it again. Play it again.
Okay, one more time. I mean, I have a longer, I have extended version on if you want. I'll put it on the screen. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, we didn't just.
So that's why I'm saying that you don't just cut up something and then.
All right, so let's see.
We don't want to put like 20 minutes.
So if you want, we'll play it until the point gets crystallized, and then we'll stop it.
Yeah.
So let's
No, you just play the next few seconds. The next few seconds that he said after that. That's what I wanted to hear. Not like the whole 20 minutes video. Nah.
Okay, just next few seconds then, my friend.
Okay, here we go. Let's play up until we are sure what they're talking about. Okay. Hold on.
Are you ready?
Hold on.
This is by criticism number 6. I have to, Sheikh, look at the camera because it's a big one. You are, Sheikh Yasser, doubting the preservation of the Quran, and you said clearly that the narrative has holes.
Narrative has holes. Yeah. That's what I said.
Number one, did you say that first?
I said the narrative has holes, but about what? About what exactly? About the preservation of the Quran? A'udhu billah. A'udhu billah. My interview is very clear. And also I said that, sometimes in an interview you don't use the best words. And I said that no doubt, astaghfirullah, the words weren't the best. But I was not speaking about the preservation of the Quran. It was about one of the most technical issues, which is ahruf and qira'at, and the reality of ahruf and qira'at. And Sheikh, your master's and PhD is in ulum al-Quran. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, out of all of the subjects
what the world?
That's the PhD, guys. That's the PhD. That's the PhD in that's the PhD in Quranic studies. One more time. Your PhD is in sciences of the Quran. Look at where their PhD.
So from what you are playing
now, out of all of the subjects of ulum al-Quran, as well as I do.
Listen. You want the context? Listen, Drake. Listen.
That ahruf is the one that تحيرت العقول.
What is that? What did he say?
تحيرت العقول. Minds are confused.
So did we say the word confused, or did he say that? Okay, let's hear what he said.
And as well as I do, that ahruf is the one that تحيرت العقول. That ulama were so Suyuti has كل الأئمة, one of the most confusing issues of.
Did he say confusing?
He did.
Okay, let's keep hearing context, right? Context.
علوم القرآن is حقيقة الأحرف and all of the Masail.
Can you explain it, please?
So there are ahadith mutawatira from the Prophet that
listen.
You wanted it.
What you are saying, like you are just skipping. I just want you to make a full statement.
No. You wanted it.
Drake, just play a point. When
Quran has been revealed in multiple ahruf and 7 ahruf.
And that's not what I wanted to find out from the video.
Listen, Drake, listen.
From the Prophet that the Quran has been revealed in multiple ahruf and 7 ahruf, right? And we also know that there are multiple recitations of the Quran that are, codified, the 10, the 7, the 14, they are codified. So what is the ahruf? And what is the relationship of the qira'at with the ahruf? Yes. Now, this is one of the most complicated and dense questions that ulama have written about. As-Suyuti lists 40 opinions in Al-Itqan, right? Ash-Shawkani also lists them. The teacher of our teachers, Sheikh Shanqiti, the one who wrote Adwa al-Bayan, right? He was asked, what is your opinion about the ahruf? And he said, my opinion about the ahruf is that I don't have an opinion. This is a Shanqiti. He's so confused. I don't have an opinion about this, right? So my point is that certain issues arose about my position about Ahruf al-Qira'ah.
See, did we make anything up?
No, we didn't make it. You said a few more seconds.
We showed you, we gave you plenty of context there.
Yeah.
Plenty of context there.
So how does that help you, my friend? It doesn't.
That's AI. We got a Muslim saying that we're using AI.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my God.
All I have to say to you, Drake, Alhamdulillah.
Those are your scholars, man. Those are your scholars.
Islam.
Oh man.
Who's speaking? Muhammad Abdullah.
Oh, this is that Muhammad guy in the chat. He was manifesting in the chat so bad. Bring him back up.
Yeah, let's see how maybe he can fix
he
it.
left. He left.
He just came to say thank God for Islam. You know what I think Islam is like? Do you know these scammers, Nigerian scammers that scam people into lots of money, thinking like the 25-year-old Nigerian guy from Lagos is your long lost love and his soulmate, and these old they send them lots of money. They're like, this is like, and then the people try to tell, no, you're being scammed. No, that guy from Lagos is my friend. These are like Muslims when we try to tell them about Islam.
Exactly.
They insist being scammed.
By the way, that was me.
Trying to help you.
Islam is your Nigerian scam.
By the way, that was me. Muhammad,
This guy is just echoing. Muhammad is echoing.
Yeah, Muhammad. So you have an echo. You have to turn off YouTube or whatever you have us on. Turn that off. You gotta have one audio. All right. So turn it off so that you can speak without an echo, because we can hear ourselves every time you unmute.
By the way, that was me that said Alhamdulillah ala Islam. Because of like Yasir Qadhi, thank God for Islam, because it makes it easy to expose them when they come up with some of these ridiculous claims.
Yeah, he's got a messed up mic.
You got a bad echo, man. It's not working out, man. Try to figure that out, and then you can come back up.
We have any other Muslims? Because I think Drake is lost, man. He doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think the few.
He's lost behind that wall.
Yeah, he's the brick wall that he's put up on the screen.
I think so.
All right, let's see.
Thanks for coming, Drake. But you're just not suited for this, my friend.
We'll pray for you, though.
Yeah.
All right, Sunni.
Try not to be scammed.
How you doing, Sunni or famous sleep? What should we call you?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, you're back?
Why do you have to say things 3 times? Why do you have to say things 3 times? Is it like is it sunnah to say things 3 times? Because you know Muhammad did that.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right, Casper. Come on up, Casper.
What's up?
What's up? You a Muslim?
Yeah, I'm Muslim.
All right, go ahead. You've been listening. Or did you have something you wanted to say?
I have loads of things to say, but I don't have much time. So, first thing I'd like to ask about is what is the issue with having different rulings within the Quran?
Okay. So, first of all, we had a hadith up earlier. Where I'll put it on the screen again. Hold on.
Ibn Shihab, yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you heard that. So this says here he said that the ahruf are essentially one, not differing about what's permitted and what's prohibited. Yeah. So do you agree with that?
Yep, 100%. Like he says the hukm. He doesn't say the hukm is one, but he says يعني the amr is one insofar as لا تختلف في حلال ولا حرام.
Okay. Is it haram to kill someone in the Masjid al-Haram?
مش الحرام.
Yes. Is it haram to kill someone in al-Masjid al-Haram? You know, the sacred mosque. Is it haram to kill someone there?
I'll have to look at the tahrir in the.
We can show you the
from
Quran.
Your own Quran that one says it's not and one says it is.
For sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Here you go.
So do you agree that that's a big thing?
Let's look at the ayats first.
Yeah, you don't want to pin yourself down. You want to look first before you give your.
No, but remember, keep in mind, it has to be one thing is halal, and then the same thing.
No, it doesn't say that. No. It says differing.
That's what it says.
No, it doesn't. It says differing in what's halal.
No. Literally, this is what it says. It says لا تختلف في حلال ولا حرام.
Exactly.
No difference.
So they don't differ in what's halal.
So
they don't listen. It's saying that they don't differ in what's in halal. Do you agree?
Yeah. For example,
okay.
there will be nothing.
What's haram?
Yeah.
So there will be nothing.
Would be.
If I could just finish speaking, give me that courtesy.
Hold on. Wait. So it's saying.
But I didn't finish speaking though.
Wait. Hold on a second. Hold on. first of all, it also says that the command is one. Do you agree the command is one?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't say that the hukum is one.
No. إنما هي في الأمر تكون واحدا.
Okay, but did he say that the hukum is one?
الأمر. What's الأمر? أماتها.
No, does he say the hukum?
Oh my God.
It doesn't say hukum.
It doesn't say hukum. It says amr in the.
Okay, if it doesn't say hukum, then it's not the ruling then.
Yeah,
he didn't say the ruling as well.
About the command.
Talking about what's halal, what's haram. This is a ruling.
No,
you see the Arabic in front of you.
No, this is.
Yeah, I can see the Arabic. Yeah.
This is.
إنما هي في الأمر تكون واحدا لا تختلف في حلال ولا حرام. So he's qualifying. No. He's qualifying his antecedent statement by saying that it doesn't differ in halal or haram. So therefore, there's nothing. If I could just finish speaking, because I gave you the cases as well. There's nothing that he says, like for example, there's no ayah in the Quran that say this thing is halal, but then in another ayah say it's haram.
That's not what it says. It says no, it doesn't. It says that they don't differ in halal, or neither do they differ in haram.
So there's two readings. We have two readings in front of us, and he's saying they don't differ in halal and haram.
Dude, okay, I don't know what you don't understand.
Simple English.
They don't differ. It's not English. We're talking about the Arabic says. Okay.
No, but I'm explaining.
They don't differ. Okay, you're complaining about interrupting, then you start interrupting. So either you complain or you don't complain when I.
I wasn't finished what I was saying anyway, but go ahead.
So it says that they don't differ in what's halal. Do you agree that they don't differ in what's halal?
No, he's saying that they don't differ in halal and haram.
No, so it says they don't differ in halal and they don't differ in what's haram.
So therefore, if they don't differ in halal, then therefore there's something that's halal in one ayah and there's something that's haram in the other ayah.
No, that's not what it's saying. It's saying actually, they don't differ in either one of them.
If what's halal is permissibility, right? So if they differ in the permissibility, that means one is impermissible and the other is permissible.
No, it's saying that they don't differ in what's halal.
No. Look. Okay, halal. What's halal in English?
Bro, I don't think he's getting it. They are agreeing in what is permissible and they agree in what is forbidden. They don't differ on those things.
So look, listen carefully. So Jay said clearly they don't differ in the halal. Halal is permissibility. Therefore, they do not differ in permissibility. So if they don't differ in permissibility, that means that there's not one thing that's halal and another ayah comes and says haram.
That's not the argument. You're not listening. So it's saying that they don't differ in what's permitted and they don't differ in what's prohibited. Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now we're asking you. Okay,
but
so
it's
now
just the way you're understanding it.
Hold on. No, wait. Hold on.
Shall I take it step by step?
Wait. Slow down.
Take it step by step.
Relax.
No, because you asked me a question and I'm not finished answering it.
You just cut him off in the middle of him saying something, dude. Let him finish.
If I could finish answering the question,
but you just agreed to what he said. Just relax, man.
No, but I haven't finished. I have to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You agreed. Okay.
No. But to what extent am I agreeing? So listen carefully.
Bro,
we have two readings.
Look. Don't try to be slippery.
Bro.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's terrible.
No, I'm not being slippery at all.
Yeah, you are. Do you agree or not that they don't differ in what's permitted or what's prohibited?
They don't differ in halal and they don't differ in haram.
Okay, that's what I just said.
So listen carefully. So listen carefully. So if something is halal, there won't be something else that says that this thing that was halal is haram.
No, that's not what it's saying. They don't differ in what's permitted and they don't differ in what's prohibited.
Okay. So that means there's a verse that says something's haram. Okay.
No, so I know you keep repeating yourself over and over again.
No. I'm going to ask you a question this time.
You don't
I'm going to ask you a question this time.
A million times.
So there's a reading that
Casper, if you continue to interrupt, you're gonna be gone, man. I want to hear the conversation, but you need to relax. Like you're hyper, I don't know if it's nervous or whatever. Relax.
No, not at all.
Conversation comes. Let Jai speak. Stop interrupting him every.
Why did you say the different Qur'ans, by the way? Like by that. But by that logic,
hold on. Let me respond to what you're saying first before we get into the.
Just let me finish speaking next time.
No. You don't get
to respond.
Stop. Just relax, dude. Stop. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Just relax. Okay.
You sound nervous.
So, hold on. You're the one that keeps going a million miles a minute. Just relax, dude. Calm down. Okay. So you have here that the explanation for this is that the 7 ahruf are essentially one. They don't differ in what's permitted or what is prohibited. They don't differ in either of those things. Okay. Now, what you're saying is that no Quran says that one thing is halal, and then another Quran comes along and says that that's haram. That's not what it's saying.
It's not the same thing.
It's saying that they don't differ at all in halal and they don't differ at all in haram. Do you agree with that?
So that you're gonna let me finish speaking without interrupting?
If you answer the question
the same way again, then we don't know where to go.
Okay, so I have a question. So
answer my question first. Answer my question first.
Just repeat the question one more time.
Dude, you're not even listening.
Not even listening.
Are this guy serious?
Yeah, just get him out of here.
Is this guy serious? Look, Avery gives me the time. I take the time to say he gives me uninterrupted time, like 45 seconds, however long it took me. I finally get out everything that I say. I respond to his point. I say, "Do you agree?" I don't understand. What's the question? I didn't hear the question.
It's because he wasn't listening. He was waiting to talk.
He's sitting there Googling.
Yeah.
Basically,
there's a list of things that are allowed, and there's a list of things that are not allowed. These things have to be the same in every harf. Correct?
Yeah,
Is that correct?
It's not saying that one Quran says this is halal, and then another, it's impossible for the other Quran to say that's haram.
Like,
that's not allowed
he's
too.
Trying to say that,
but they're also saying that it's not allowed to differ in halal things or haram.
Yeah,
things.
he's trying to say that one Quran can say alcohol is okay, and the other Quran is saying alcohol is not okay.
Right.
That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about. There's a list of things that are allowed, and there's a list of things that are not allowed.
Yeah,
they can't be different. That list can't be different. That's what we were saying about fighting and killing in the sacred mosque.
Yeah. So one says it's not permitted.
Yeah. One says you can only fight, you can't kill.
Right.
The other Quran says you can kill. So in one Quran, your list of permissibility is different because you can only fight but not kill.
Exactly.
The other one says you can kill. That's a problem.
Exactly.
All right, let's try to bring up somebody. Is your mic?
These Muslims today, man. These are robots. That was representative of the robots we're getting today.
The one guy that knew Arabic was slippery as anything.
Yeah, because he understands the argument and he knows how much it destroys his position.
Yeah, so he wants to make it so big. Like one Quran says you can have commit adultery, and the other one says you can't. No, that's not. It's not like that. It's not. Black and white.
But the problem was he agreed. So you said your statement, then he said, I agree. Then after you tried to continue, he said, but let me explain to you what I mean when I say I agree. Bro, do you agree or not?
Yeah, you know,
because they have to put these clauses because they know their position is weak.
Yeah. There's no way that guy would stand a chance. There's no way. That's why he's, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Oh, I wasn't listening. Say it again. Because they know that they can't defend it. Anyway, we have someone else here.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
I'm a Deyon, by the way.
Bless
but
you.
Thank you.
I
want to tell you some story about some Indonesian couple.
Can you mute your YouTube?
Yeah, his YouTube was playing in the background.
Here's my thing. Why would you request up to talk about a topic that you clearly know nothing about? Like, these guys just come on here just to voice their opinions about what they're saying, but they don't realize that they become zindiq when they go against their own scholars and they have no knowledge on it. Half of them don't even know Arabic. So if you're going to request, bring some actual objections to what they say, and don't bring up Quran. Like, bro, come on. We don't want to hear that.
It's because they've been telling them lies in the mosque. If only the kafirs listen to the Quran, they will drop to their knees and realize. If only they listen to it in the way it's recited. And they think, wow, let's recite it and see how
yeah, the opposite happens. We listen to it, we're repelled by it.
Doesn't work.
All right, so peace for all. Welcome. Are you Muslim?
Yes. I'm not Muslim. I apologize. I just want 20 seconds to thank you guys. I love you guys. I love what brother you do. God bless you, patience. God bless you, patience.
God bless you.
Really, we love our brother and sister that speak Arabic, because you have no idea how many hearts you are changing. Even though they come and pretend they don't understand and act confused and dumb on purpose, you are reaching their heart. So God bless you. We love everything you do. I love everything you do. I will support you until the end. The tomb is empty. Jesus is risen. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
God bless you, brother.
Indeed. God bless you. Thank you for your encouragement. It's hard on the patience. It's hard.
Try you again, bro. If this is it, I'm just gonna kick you from the studio because your mic's not good, man.
You can hear me now?
Yes. That's much better. There we go.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is, no matter how much lies you guys gonna spread, Islam is gonna.
Do you have an argument?
Christians he left? Endorsing Islam.
Do you have an argument?
You don't have arguments. You just bring lies. That's what you do.
Yeah. What do we lie about today? Yeah. What do we lie about today?
You never explain.
I don't want them to lie on my platform. You know that, like, I'm responsible.
No. You know what's the funny part? You never explain the Bible contradictions.
What do they lie about? What do they lie about?
That's really sad.
Like I said, you don't understand what you guys are talking about. That's clearly obvious. You know, there's
That's
only one
something
Quran. What are you
don't
talking about?
understand it?
You
Can
don't
help
even
us
know there's
understand?
only one Quran, right?
What was the
You guys
wrong about
says
what they
there's
said?
different Qurans.
What was wrong about what
You
they
guys
said?
are so stupid to understand.
Get out of here. You're an absolute clown like your prophet.
He comes up. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You didn't explain Bible contradictions.
You're just
What?
spreading hate and lies about Islam.
Yeah. There's no Bible contradictions, and we're not talking. No one brought up Bible contradictions. So how could you say we didn't explain it? And these guys just come up and just say nonsense. And it's the problem. The problem is the ones who know Arabic don't actually want to engage.
Yeah.
They don't actually want to.
They want to run away.
Oh, Drake is back. No, Drake, it's a no for us, man. You can't.
Poor Drake, man.
Bring the wall back.
Get it in. I think this is good though. We got other people trying to come back who have shown that they're a waste of time. But yeah, so that's about it, guys. I think this is a good place to wrap up. We gave the Muslims an opportunity to show where you guys were wrong, and what they have done is they showed that they have no answers, that they're ignorant of their religion, they're biased, they have no intention on seeking what the truth is or even engaging with the actual argument. We've seen a lot of this normal Muhammadan type of behavior today. Nothing surprising. We knew what we was going to get, and we got it. So make sure you guys take notes on the subject today. Make sure you go back, screenshot the slides. Jai, people are asking about the slides. Are you going to make a post where people can get access to these slides, or
I could do that. I could do that. By the way, I'm always editing these slides, so like even the presentation I did on David Wood's channel, it's different than the one that I did today because I'm always adding and changing things. So I'll give this one how I did it today. But if you see me doing it in the future, it might be a little different here or there.
By adding and changing things, we just mean more sources. We don't mean we change things.
Yeah,
it's
just
not like the
right. Now change doesn't mean change.
It all agrees in what's haram and what's halal.
Now they doing the Christian shuffle, y'all. That's just crazy. Wow, change don't mean change now. You just caught yourself.
That's hilarious, brother.
All right, but yeah, so he's gonna make a community post where you guys can have access to the slides. So make sure you guys subscribe to the brother and sister, subscribe to their channel. It is linked in the title of the video, Jai and DLC. So all you got to do is just click that little tag there and it takes you straight to their channel so you can subscribe. Make sure the notifications are on. They go live all the time. They break this stuff down all the time. And yeah, as the brother said, you know, hearts are being changed and minds are being opened because of their labor through the glory of God. So yeah, any last things you guys want to say?
Yeah, all glory to God. God bless the brother who was in here earlier. We thank you for having us on, man. We love doing streams with you. Can't wait to do the next one. We have the one that we did with Amin. We want to do that one with you too. We just go over straight contradiction after contradiction, no long lectures or anything like that. Just contradiction here, contradiction there. That could be our next one with you.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Wait, because we can do the other one Saturday, right? With,
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, tomorrow works for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't forget to pray for our brother God Logic.
Yes, and his engagement.
And Sister Christina.
Yes.
And pray for us and pray for him, and that God gives him patience and strength as he deals with these Muslims day in, day out.
Yes.
And pray for the Muslims, each one of them that came, please. God bless you guys.
God bless you all.
Amen. God bless, guys.
Thank you, guys. And now remember, guys, always remember that when you are discussing with a Muslim and it seems like it's hard to get through to them, you show them the variants, you show them the contradictions, you explain things, you got to even teach them Islam. And it just seems like they're just not getting it. It's because they have a particular conviction in their heart. They have a conviction that can seem like it's unchanging. And this is where they get it from.
Allah gave me face, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah. But Allah gave me, Allah